Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plan. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
It's almost Mother's Day, and you can now get anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. So no, you can't order a relaxing shower, but some beautiful flowers, you bet we deliver those. A bird bath? No. A bath bomb? Absolutely. It's no to a chocolate lab, but yes to some chocolate truffles. So whether it's a last-minute gift for Mother's Day, fresh groceries, or food from your favorite restaurants, get it delivered today with Uber Eats. Order now. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it. They've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
Hungry for something exciting? Then come experience what's new at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 Valley locations. No one does Asian-inspired cuisine better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, it isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire with their daily specials. Try their new $12 bar menu items, Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. 2025 is on fire at Kasai with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird, and now open in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris. He actually lived. Harris Hicks is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, it's Cinco de Trinco. Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Can you believe how fast this year is going? That's 4 months down, and we're starting the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy.
Cinco de Mayo. Do you know what Cinco de Mayo is all about, Harris? Do you know why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo without looking at a computer? Look at me. Let's see your eyes, hands. Put your hands in the air like you might care.
My phone's over there. I don't have it on me.
Don't touch it. So do you know what Cinco de Mayo is?
I'm going to be completely honest. No. I think it's a Spanish thing. I know that Mexican
Well,
thing.
take a
That's
guess.
about it.
It's a Spanish thing.
See,
Harris,
that's half the
ding,
battle. I
ding,
got
ding,
50%
ding,
of
you
it.
win.
I got 50% of it, and that's a Hall of Fame batting average. So I think that's
Do
right.
you know what that means in Spanish?
What, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th?
Okay, so that at least you have that. So take a guess. Just you can be wrong. Take a guess.
Okay. What does Cinco de Mayo mean?
I like how he rereads the question like he's being asked a spelling bee.
Yeah. When someone doesn't know the word in a spelling bee.
Yeah,
I
I just don't painfully
Can
care.
you say? Can you sound out the sentence, please? No, I'll say. To take a guess. Does it have something to do with like? I don't know, man. I don't have a guess.
Painful.
All the Spanish, like I guess.
Yes, would do.
Spanish roots in America, something like that.
No.
Okay, I don't know. What is
Randy,
it?
do you know what it is?
Mexican Independence Day.
You are incorrect.
Wait,
I am incorrect.
You are incorrect. Most people say that. Mexican Independence Day. 39% of Americans will guess that. 26% will say it's a celebration of Mexican American culture, like what Harris said. And then 13% say, it's just an excuse to drink. Not wrong, but and another 13%, like Harris, admit they have no idea what it's about. So here is the correct answer. And only 10% of people who are asked ever know the correct answer. Cinco de Mayo actually commemorates the Mexican victory over the French at the Battle of Puebla. Took place May 5th, 1862, which, in case you're counting, was 163 years ago.
Wow.
And,
How about that?
Was Randy in that?
So the battle itself was in a major strategic win. And the French took control of Mexico like 2 years later. But it was a major morale boost for the Mexican resistance. And it helped them to gain an alliance with the Americans to eventually push them Frenchy frog bastards out of town.
Yeah. Tell them I'm also French.
Here's why. You know why that's relevant?
Because of Cinco de Mayo?
No, God, Harris, just stop talking. It was relevant because people, historians think, well, the French probably would have backed the Confederacy during the Civil War. So if Mexico's resistance changed the history of the United States, because with France's help, the Confederacy might have won. Now I know you probably like that idea, but the rest of us not keen on it.
Yep.
Anyway, so there you go. Now you've learned something. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Battle of Puebla.
Puebla.
There you go.
That's today known. That is the actual spot. That battleground is actually where U of A plays football.
No, actually, it's the Battle of Pueblo, Colorado.
Oh,
I just made that up too. That's not true. No.
Yeah.
Wait, so is that true? Where U of A plays football?
Neither of those is true. Neither is true.
I was gonna say
nobody would fight over anything in Tucson.
U of A.
You should know better than that. Nobody would fight over anything in Tucson.
This is true. Very true.
So anyway, so happy Cinco de Mayo and stuff. Oh, by the way, it's also National Hoagie Day.
Hey.
If you don't want to do the drinking, you can do the sandwich eating.
Hey, I like sandwich eating.
Me too.
I'm about to educate you on where the hoagie came from. Back in 1953, workers at Hog Island Shipyard, they introduced this Italian sandwich on a long roll, and they called it the Hoggie. Because for the Hog Island, of course, people are like, we can't sell a hoggie, but we can sell a hoagie. And that's where it became.
I hope Moist One doesn't comment here. This is a Moist One territory.
Oh, I could see that happening. Hoggie.
It is.
Yeah.
Hoggie, yeah.
Okay, do you have like a check mark of stuff you like say in any given show?
No, I don't.
Was that the moment? Just check that off, and we
check mark.
I
just thought this was Moist One territory.
How do you get that from hoggy or hoagie?
I mean, come on.
There's so many worse things that are to come later.
Come on.
So many worse things
I feel like
that'll
it's
come later.
Self-explanatory.
Well, it's hoggy.
Hey Harris, the wedding didn't make you funnier. If you think it did, it was only because everyone was drinking. By the way, I notice you still have the facial pubes, hair, the facial hair.
The mustache, I think, is what you mean. Jeffrey,
I don't mean that at all. It's the facial hair. How did Mom do with that?
So actually, she said it's not as bad as I thought.
So did she see a picture of you And then she was upset with your choice to have the facial hair. And then when you showed up there and she saw it in person, she was okay with it.
She was okay with it. And so I was like, okay, I'll keep it then.
I wonder if it was
I
reverse
was fully-
psychology.
I was fully coming in expecting to shave it.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my razor there, everything. As a matter of fact, my mom brought a razor with her. So she was expecting it. And then she was like, you know what? It's not that bad. I was like, really? She's like, yep. And then I kept it.
Mm.
Yeah. Makes me look older.
Well, all right. All right. There
Did
you
your
go.
relationship survive the wedding?
My relationship? Yes, it
Yeah.
did. It did.
Yeah, because things happen,
Things do happen.
or maybe it just hasn't come to light yet.
Things
I'll
do
be
happen.
quiet.
I was so tired after all the flight stuff that happened with my flight getting delayed and all that.
Mm.
That like honestly, I was a little bit like, like it's not like I would have had a lot of energy to go out of my way to make something happen if I even wanted to. And
so that what you just communicated to your girlfriend was, well, maybe I would have, but I was really tired.
no, I would not. Have. I was just exhausted. I didn't even think about it.
Does she listen to the show? Does she?
Yeah, she does. She does. I send her episodes. She
You send her episodes. You know, she could just listen whenever she wants, right?
Well, she doesn't have. She listens to it on Apple Podcast. So yes, yeah. So I'll say like, hey,
this is
listen to
not
this.
a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, technically on Apple it is, but it is a live radio.
That's the
show,
funny
yes.
thing. A podcast is a couple of dip bleeps sitting around talking themselves silly. This is a radio show. This is actually broadcast on
Isn't that what this
actual
is?
radio,
Mhm.
and people are listening live even when it happens. This is
Right.
what I call the best social media ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you can beat this. But,
No, you can't.
I did notice something. I thought I had a pretty good tweet, and because I didn't pay to be verified on the X.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give anybody money for that, but I guess maybe I'll have to, because I thought I had a pretty good tweet and nobody saw it. Because unless you pay to be verified, it doesn't send your stuff out. People generally don't see it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your friends didn't see it?
Yeah, I'm looking right now at this thing I posted up earlier. Only 34 people out of like the 800 people I have on there even saw it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so what's the even point in having the 800 people?
Oh,
Over on
wow.
the Facebook, I'm a verified, like legit. Yeah, I didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And thousands of people are on there,
Uh-huh.
following me on there. So it's like, but then everybody's like, hey, you got to get off the Facebook. You got to go to Instagram and Snapface and all those other things. And I'm like, I don't know.
Facebook is typically y'all's age group rolls on Facebook.
Hmm.
Just my hairy ass there, Harris.
My age
You just called
group
us old
rolls.
again.
No.
Well,
I
I'm
did
not
not.
on Facebook, so it doesn't bother me.
I just said y'all's age group typically rolls on Facebook.
Mhm.
Mine typically rolls on Snapchat, TikTok, which I don't have any of those. And then Instagram.
Wait a
What
minute.
am I supposed to be on right now? Can you just
you
tell
don't-
us that? What are we supposed to be on?
What are you supposed to be on?
Yeah. To reach this audience. Audience, what are you guys on? What are we supposed to be doing?
Well,
Nobody has come around to explain this to us yet.
to reach it depends which age group of audience. Like if you would say
All of them.
all of them.
Yeah, listen, we've got people listening from all age ranges. Not you, Harris.
Well, yeah,
but
okay.
you know, like I'd say from 30 up to 75. I'd
Okay.
say that's the experience we've had. We've got older
Yep.
guys, younger guys, ladies, you name it. We've got it. We have a wide spread demographic on
Yeah.
this show, at
Yeah.
least from our sample, which is from the thousands of people on the text line.
Yeah.
So, reaching them on the social media, if I want to do that, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
So live radio for like I'm gonna say, we'll say like 40 to 75 is perfect. Like that's their
what?
MO.
Who? Where?
Live radio. So like
We're on live radio.
yep,
Yes.
that's exactly right. That's how
So
you
I
reach
don't
them.
need to be on social media.
If you want to for the younger people, I would say YouTube is probably the best.
We're on YouTube. That's good.
Yeah.
How do they find us?
So essentially publicizing the channel, creating like little shorts,
Where are we publicizing this?
creating YouTube shorts.
Wait a minute.
Where,
I've
where
got
do you publicize this? YouTube is just a place where the videos go, but how do they find you? How do you go, hey, over here?
You mentioned it on the show. Follow us on YouTube at blank blank, the Daily Blender on
That's not what
1580
it's
The
called.
Fanatic.
Yeah.
Like you can that would be the way to go. And if you create little shorts,
So all
'cause-
we need to do is be on Twitter and then be on YouTube.
I would say YouTube is the number one. Twitter, I think, is more for you guys, like your own brand, you could say. So YouTube is for
It's all the same.
YouTube is for it's all intertwined. YouTube is for like the show itself, making little shorts because Gen Z watches videos and younger millennials based on.
I'm sorry.
Like
I want to
shorts.
reach everybody, but I really don't care about
Gen Z.
specifically reaching Gen Z.
Well, then
not-
in that case, I don't even know if you like social media. I mean, yeah, there'd be a cool thing. It'd be a cool thing to have, but from reaching like ages like 40 to and up, live radio is probably your best bet. So
Look at
on
that,
now.
Jeffrey. We're doing it right.
We're gone viral right now.
Hey, look
but in
at
terms
that.
of in
Well,
terms
I mean,
of my
because
age
Randy's not
group-
feeling well.
I am
think
a
he has
virus.
Yeah.
See
Oh,
that?
no. Randy's
That's
a
it.
I've
virus.
gone virus right here on the
Mhm.
radio.
But younger people, I would say making 1 minute little shorts in the episode and then putting them out because their attention spans are so short. That's
See,
how
they would love this show. Younger people would love it, at least for the fact that we have a short attention span too.
right.
We move on very quickly.
yeah.
So I don't know. What do
What
I
do we-
know?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. Kiss the Cook says, "What are you supposed to be on to reach the younger audience?" Acid. I think that's what we need to be on to cope with the younger audience.
See, I feel like acid was more of a 70s thing.
Yeah, it's not as I mean, it happens now, but it's not as popular. Cocaine has taken a rise.
So
Yeah, but
cocaine is Harris's
cocaine is-
choice.
Cocaine is
That's what.
the,
So remember that during like birthdays and Christmas.
Well,
Can't
cocaine
go wrong with cocaine for Harris.
cocaine in the 80s was like booming. And then
Mhm.
90s and 2000s it kind of went down. But
Mhm.
I've noticed 2010s, 2020s, it's sort of trickling up a little.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sort
You
of
know,
trickling up.
I had an idea of an outreach program that has to do with drugs, and
Okay.
it's really because as I drive on the freeways in this metropolis, I notice there's too many people. So I'm thinking, I got to find a place where I can just hand out fentanyl. I just want to
Ah.
hand it out.
That's it.
Only
That's
as,
just not.
only as long as it takes to make traffic
Oh
better.
boy. Oh
You know,
boy.
Senior
boy, boy.
sitters,
Senior setters.
I think the
um,
highways here are really good though.
country western bars. I think that's a good place to start.
Country Western bars. No.
No,
those
because
are
I'm
my
looking.
people.
Well, because I'm also I
Them.
might be looking for a new truck. So I figured
Oh, yeah.
tons will be for sale at a
They'll
good
be-
price.
They'll be your best bet for sure. Yeah.
My wife hates when I say things like that. By the way, I may or may
Gee.
not be in trouble right now.
Gee, I wonder why.
Let's see. Let's get to the text line 888-368-1580. Mr. Wilbur says, "Hole a gentleman." I don't understand. HOL. What are you thinking you're saying?
Is
Yeah.
that one of my names?
I don't
Like,
know. I don't-
is that one of my
Hole?
names?
Hole? I don't know.
Hole?
Pro Dog says, "Remember to visit your local Irish pub today." Well, no. That's in March. This is have a tequila or a margarita
Patrick's
at
Day, yeah.
any bar
Not the
in
same.
the state and
Not the same.
embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, I think that our Mexican friends probably are a little less salty about the Cinco de Mayo than me and my Irish friends are. We are kind of like bunch of damn just amateurs out there just drinking during St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And the whole pinching thing with the green, shut up. But then when you look over here, our Hispanic friends seem to enjoy it more than us salty Irish people do.
I
And
see.
I know
Well-
there's some that are just like me that are like more amateurs, but for whatever reason, and that's great. That they don't get upset like I do. I get grumpy about St. Patrick's Day.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I'm tired of my people being socially appropriated only one day a year. We'd like to be socially appropriated more often, but there's no damn good reason to do it.
Maybe every day should be St. Patrick's Day.
That doesn't make any sense.
Everyone
Harris.
wears green every
That doesn't
day.
make any sense.
That
Harris.
sounds exactly what you want.
It's not
I
what I
think
want,
for-
Harris.
I think for his birthday, I'm going to get him kiss Kiss Me, I'm Irish. One of those T-shirts.
How about
you
don't
totally
touch me, I'll punch
should.
you in the throat. I'm
You
Irish.
totally should. You can put that in the back.
Will not wear it.
You can put the kiss me in the front, but the don't touch me in the back.
Kiss the Cook says, Happy Cinco. You bring the tequila and I'll bring the bad decisions. There you go. Swazman says, Jeffrey Harris is definitely not one of those young kids that hangs out with wise old men like us. If he's trying to take over the show, bring some new blood in, put you and Randy out to pasture. That's what's next.
Wow.
Please. We're ready. We don't
Wow.
even care. Dimeback Dude says, I play this show at the funeral home all the time that I work at. It's a big hit with all the people that come through.
Oh my god.
That's the thing.
See, that's why we don't need social media. Our audience is reaching such new levels of people. Every single level. Just when you
if
think
you
you can
bury
reach
them with a radio and a ppm meter, I think that we might be onto something. Captive audience. Mr. Pink Eye says, Happy Cinco. Will Sergio Garcia be celebrating?
I'm Spanish, not
Yeah,
Mexican, and you guys, you got to try to group us all together. And I'm getting kind of tired of it, and I'm thinking that what you guys should do is go find a long pier and take a short walk. Take a short walk on a long pier, okay? That's what I think you guys ought to do.
Oh yeah, I should have warned you, Pink Eye. He gets he's Spanish.
Mr. Pink Eye is a hilarious name. By the
So
way. That's funny.
well, thanks for staying on task, Harris.
Of course.
Berg says, why Triple H? Why? Here's the St. Louis Blues, Game 7, last 2 minutes of the
Oh,
Blender Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on the flight, and I was on a flight, and I checked. It's 4-1, 10 minutes to go, or 3-1, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It
Put my
was
phone up.
3-1 with 2 1/4 left
Two
in
and
the
a
game.
quarter left in the game, and then I'm like, what the heck happened? So that's one of the craziest playoff hockey. There's really nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it.
Navy Brad wants to know if you shave your legs, Triple H.
No.
He doesn't need to. Base Slappa says, Sugar, I got it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Honey.
Moving on.
Thank you, baby.
Firefarter says, you guys should be on Silver Singles, our time and senior match. Those are sound like dating sites. I don't think we need to be on those.
We don't need any dating sites.
King of Kittens says, Cerveza, y Margarita Rando, por favor.
Did he say cerveza or margarita?
Yeah, Cerveza is a beer. You got it right.
But he said margarita.
Oh, I think the Y means and.
Oh,
So yes.
Oh, yeah.
Give him one of each.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, you're a former professional comedian and sports radio host. What do you expect comments from your listeners like us to be? Your show is all about laughing and talking about sports. No, that's pretty much what we expect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
laugh.
Listen, I think it's funny when we get trolled or somebody says something horrible. To me, when somebody goes on the social media and it is nasty, I just giggle. It doesn't even bother me. Quiet Cannon says, newsflash, Jeffrey, Randy, you're already visited the pastor. Probably what we love about you.
What?
I don't know what he's talking about.
We've already visited the pastor. Are we dying, Jeffrey? Is that what's happening?
If we were, the pastor would visit us. Give us our last rites.
Why are we visiting? Oh, right. Never mind. I'll kill the music.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about on this Cinco de Mayo and National Hoagie Day. When we come back, we might actually get to something. I wouldn't hold my breath, but we might. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family could be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. Your lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Rich Eisen Show. It's kind of gotten almost old hat, where how did Howie Roseman wind up with this guy again? And Jahad Campbell is that guy.
It doesn't take long to watch his tape and see him jump off. For us, all along through the process, this was a top 10 player on our board. I think it's no secret by now. Some of the questions were more medical in nature. Just felt really fortunate that we were able to trade up and grab him.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago, says Mrs. Froman's making some tacos and quesadillas for tonight in celebration of Cinco de Mayo.
Wow, good
I'm
for her.
supplying the Don Julio and Patron. Should be a fun night.
Nice.
Good for you.
For
Good
you.
you. I have no idea what's happening over here. We probably just will hang around and do Taco Tuesday tomorrow. Big George says happy. Okay, no.
George.
No.
George.
Bad George. I'm not reading some contrived attempt to name a day. Not doing it. He says, yeah, a bit of a rough weekend for the Diamondbacks in Philadelphia. Shelby Miller and the Diamondbacks bullpen blew a 7-1 lead yesterday and needed extra innings just to win that one game. I guess this bullpen needs to be fixed. We need a closer, he says.
Well, the bullpen needs to be fixed. The bullpen needs to be rested is more what I think. I think the couple of injuries to the bullpen so far put them a little behind schedule, plus the way they're used. And you just you never get a chance to give your bullpen a rest when you use them every day. So, I mean, if I'm the manager of the team and I'm seeing, Zach Gallen or something in the seventh inning, or, he gets out of the sixth inning and he's looking strong, guess what? He goes back out there in the seventh. Guess what? He goes back out there in the eighth if he's still looking strong. Guess what? Maybe he gets a complete game, and so does so does the rest of the guys, starters, because that's why we're paying them the big money. They're starters. You get them out there. You don't have to bring in a sixth, seventh, and eighth inning pitcher every day.
Yep, that is correct. Now, I mean, I'm sure the sabermetrics have something to say about that, but I mean, what would you rather see, Randy? I mean, early in the season, is that the time where you start letting guys pitch more innings than they would, closer to the playoffs, or is it the other way around? But I mean, where would you start letting them extend, or is it just got the hot hand, you get to stay in?
Well, I think it depends on what kind of a spring the guy had. If you're early in the season, and if he's looking strong, Zach Gallen has had a couple of games where he's looked very well, very good. And you could have left him in another inning or two innings, which saves, guess what? It saves your bullpen. You don't have to bring a guy in out of the bullpen. You let your bullpen get some rest. Same with Merrill Kelly. Same with Corbin. And by the way, Corbin is shut down for a game, shoulder inflammation. So that's not good news.
Not good.
He was supposed to throw, I think, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Or the night after. Anyway, so we'll have to wait and see if there's anything big there. But I'm a kind of an old style guy. I mean, if the guy is doing well, why go get him? Why go give him the hook? He's faced this lineup already 3 times. Let him go for 4 times.
So is the rotation so important that you can't say, you know what, he's doing great. Let's let him go farther and redo the rotation a little bit where he gets an extra day to rest or something.
I don't know. You're throwing 5 guys out there. Brandon Pfaadt has been in the rotation, so you've got 5 guys. Corbin Burns is your 5th really, but it's really not him. It's Brandon Pfaadt, and you've got 5 pitchers, starting pitchers. And you continue to bring in the bullpen in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Unless you got a real stud out there that you bring him in every game for an inning and he shuts down the other team. I mean, I'm letting the starting pitching staff kind of feel the oats. Now, listen, if they're struggling, they're struggling. Yeah, go out there and if he gets in trouble, bring a guy in and get the guy out of trouble and move on through your rotation or through your bullpen that way. But
yeah,
the bullpen is tired, and I think it's from the way that Torey Lovullo uses the bullpen. I'll be honest.
George agrees. Says Rodriguez was dominating yesterday, and Lovullo pulled him so early in the 6th innings.
Yeah.
You only give him 1 run. Give him at least through 6. Quiet Cannon says, Randy, Corbin Carroll's not kidding right now. He is usually clutch. I noticed he struck out with the bases loaded and only 1 out at a critical time.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen from time to time. And I think Corbin Carroll is going to be, he's a lot better. He's a hell of a lot better than he was last year at this time.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that much. I mean, if you want to go back to last year and look at his numbers through the first month of the season, they were abhorrent. It was terrible. What happened to him after a World Series run? You know what I mean? Where he was like the guy. But they fixed a little. They had this little thing in his batting stance where they've got his hands from going way back over his shoulder to just right out in front, so he can kind of load on that back foot and swing. He doesn't have to move the hands all the way down to load up. So. I think Corbin Carroll is going to miss on occasion. He's not a machine, but I think he's done a lot more good than he has bad so far in this early 2025 season.
Yeah, I agree with that. And something about Corbin Carroll, too, is that last year when he was battling injuries, his exit velocity, so how hard he's hitting the ball, was at the 55th percentile of the MLB at 89 miles an hour with that shoulder injury. This year, it's been at 94 miles an hour, top 5 percentile of the MLB. So he's been hitting the ball with so much more power. Also, his bat speed is faster. So he's hitting the ball not just harder, but faster. So his batting average has gone up from 230 last year to 280 this year because he's able to make more contact. And maybe it was the change in his stance. Not fully sure there. I don't know, whatever it was. It's working. But he's hitting the ball with so much more power. I think a lot of that has to do with health. So this shoulder injury, the shoulder inflammation with him is very, very important. So, yeah.
Well, you got Ryan Nelson tonight at 6:40. It's a home game for the Diamondbacks. I feel like deja vu all over again. The Mets are visiting us after we beat them 2-1 in a series in New York last time. So, here is hoping. And like I've always said, each game is its own story. Each game is its own opportunity, and just go out there and just enjoy it for the entertainment. If it goes great, great. If not, we'll get them next time. Don't let any of this so early in the season get to you.
And Jeffrey, one more point to add as well that I wanted to mention in the bullpen is that a huge thing with the Diamondbacks is Justin Martinez's injury, because he was, I don't know if you guys have seen him. He's got like a 2.70 ERA. He's throwing the ball hard. He's near reaching 100 miles per hour on his average
Yeah,
pitched.
yeah.
So him getting injured really messed with the Diamondbacks. Like you saw what happened with Shelby Miller and taking that to extras as well. Castillo had a rough game too. If Justin Martinez can get healthy, that's huge for them. And he did get a clear MRI as of 4 hours ago. So very positive sign for the Diamondbacks in that bullpen.
Well, and they also lost AJ Puck, who had been coming in and helping this bullpen. You know, they're down. They're down some guys in the bullpen, and other guys are having to pick up the slack. And sometimes, unfortunately, this is the way it goes. I'm not ready to start talking trades. I think it's too early to start talking trades. But I think Mike Hazen is monitoring the situation closely to see what he has to do. Got a lot of great talent in the minor leagues that we can bring up and throw.
Sure. Farm system's great for Arizona right now.
T-Licious says, hey, happy fake Mexican Day, brachos. That Jets Blues game was amazing, by the way. I hate St. Louis team, so yay, Canada team.
He's talking to Winnipeg Jets.
No, I get it. I just not sure how I feel about. I mean, I don't like Missouri, but then again, it's Canada, and we're supposed to be Team USA over here. Yeah. I really don't know how to feel about that, T-Licious.
Jeffrey, I'm glad you brought up the state of Missouri because me and my friends had this debate the other day. If Missouri is the South or the Midwest, because people in the South don't consider Missouri the South.
We talked about this on the air last time you were here.
Oh,
and
really?
We all confirmed to you that it's in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about this last time I was here?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. My goodness. What is going on with me? Jeez.
Check your note card.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was with you or if it was we did talk about
We're your
this.
friends you had the conversation with.
We talked about this.
Are you still drunk from the wedding?
I have a little bit of jet lag. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a little bit of jet lag.
I have a question to ask you.
Get into 1 a.m. last night.
When last we were together,
Yes.
your mind was blown a little bit by a photograph of your dad with a bikini-clad woman. Did you talk to Daddy-O to find out who was that young lady and what the hell was going on there?
So that was, I think, his friend Patrick from high school. I think that was his girlfriend at the time.
No, it wasn't.
I think that's what I mean.
That was your dad's girlfriend at the time, or
really?
Patrick's
So
girlfriend?
It was not Patrick's girlfriend.
I think I didn't see. I
can
see
tell
my dad.
just by looking at the photo that was not that.
My
guy's
dad
girlfriend.
was not at the wedding, so I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it. It was just me and my mom. But
what did she have to say about it?
That photo? We didn't talk about it. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. I got to pick my battles, Jeffrey.
Firefighter says, "Oh, I must be listening to a podcast because Harris is talking about Missouri not being in the South." Yeah, now you made everybody think this was a replay.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. Swazman says, Jeffrey, the reason Missouri is considered part of the South is because that's where the Bible Belt actually starts. It runs like a letter J down through Texas and all the way to Florida East Coast. That is truly the Bible Belt. You want to call it the Bible Belt? Be my guest, but I'm sorry. I have a problem when people get the map of America incorrect. And people who I am most upset about that is the NFL, because my team, the Indianapolis Colts, is not in this. Not a southern state either.
No,
that is not a southern state. No. And yet here we are in the AFC South. How dumb is that? I'm bringing up a map on my screen right now. Look at there. There's Indiana. That's a northern town.
Completely northern.
Just south of Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, are there some racist douchebags there? Absolutely.
There is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, but really seems to be a lot in Indianapolis. I'm not kidding. But it's not a southern state.
Yeah, it's not
a touches Kentucky. That doesn't make it a southern state.
No, I think Kentucky is like the borderline. Like that's where the South and Midwest meet.
Let me explain something to you.
Kentucky.
If because that's the ass of Indiana on Kentucky. If I sit on a log, that don't make me a tree.
No, it doesn't.
That means my ass happens to be on a log.
That's a fantastic. You know what, Jeffrey? That's one of the best lines I've ever heard you say.
It won't
it's
matter
phenomenal.
Because
that
the
is
NFL
awesome.
is too dumb to get this right, and it's a source of constant frustration for me.
It's like Dallas being in. Now this makes sense because of the rivalry. But you think of Dallas being in the NFC East in a division with New York, Philadelphia
there.
and Washington
Should be in
That's
the
like,
South.
What? Like that doesn't make sense. Now I think for the rivalry they should stay in that division because of all the history there. But like Indianapolis in the AFC South makes utterly no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, especially because you're like, well, they used to be in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, that makes even less sense, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Quiet Cannon says, yeah, to your point, Jeffrey, how is Dallas Cowboys in the East? Exactly. Big George says, Jeffrey, I share your frustration. My dad's side of the family came from northern Indiana, fought for the North in the Civil War, killed some of them damn Confederates, and there is nothing south about Indiana.
No.
Well, the racism is very south. That is a very southern thing that happened to sort of, there's a lot. I wouldn't listen. I love my team because I chose them when I was a kid here in Arizona. They were in Baltimore, Maryland. The fact they moved to a very racist state is not my fault. So they don't lump me in if you can avoid. We don't lump Harris in with all the racists down there. He hasn't exhibited any racist tendencies yet.
Yet. What do you mean yet?
Well, I mean, we don't know you. We don't know you. We may leave some traps out just in case. Just to make sure. Pink Eye says, maybe because the Indy 500 is considered the South. Well, that's not even NASCAR. That's Indy cars.
It's the
Indy cars is not a Southern thing.
No.
Kiss the Cook says, I don't think having an old pic of my dad's moobs is not even right, bro.
What?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
No idea what he's talking about.
Average Joe says Aaron Judge is hitting 423 while the entire Major League Baseball average is 242, and people still don't appreciate how good a player he is because he's a Yankee and nobody gives a damn.
I feel like people appreciate how good of a player he is. He's multi-time MVP.
We don't care because he's a Yankee.
Well, that's not decided on by the people. That's decided on by the giddy baseball writers. Oh my God, Aaron
Shohei Ohtani. By the way, speaking of Yankees,
all right,
and this doesn't help my hatred for the Yankees.
You're talking Yankees?
Yeah, I'm talking Yankees. I don't know what that had to do with anything with Antonio Brown.
I had a baseball in my hand and I dropped it. It rolled over the
over
go
the keyboard.
Button. Yeah, over the go button.
Roll it over again. Let's hear what we get.
Roll down Tide.
There you go.
Oh,
that was kind of fun. We should do that every now and then as a thing.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so I don't like the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. I'm not going to go into why. I just do hate the Yankees. I don't hate the fans.
The evil empire.
I don't hate all the fans. I don't like a lot of fans. And I listen, the players, once they're off the Yankees, I got no problem with them. And I don't want nobody getting hurt. So I just want to make all that clear. But other than that, I hate the Yankees. Hate them. So of course it's a Yankees fan who's standing there at a baseball game. I put the video on my Twitter, that along with some other fun stuff today. What is my thing? At the Jeffrey O'Brien. That's where you can find me on my Twitter. And I put this video up because this is just, as a parent, I talked to you about taking my teenage kids to a baseball game and being like, all right, make sure you put your phones down. Them foul balls can come at you unexpectedly and at velocity, and you need a chance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll be able to bat down everything that comes our way. So they were like, yeah. And my kids were really good about it. They stayed off their phones and watched the game. So, but if this is like a 2-year-old child, so the dad has this 2-year-old little girl up on his shoulders.
Oh no.
And in his left hand, he has a glove.
Oh no.
And this ball comes right in his direction. He's like, oh, here comes a foul ball. He does, so he takes he's ready to, and actually it's a perfectly hit. It's nowhere near hitting the kid, but it's like almost right into his glove. But as he kind of makes an adjustment to catch the ball, the little girl puts her hands over her dad's eyes.
Oh,
it was like holding onto his head. Like, cause he was like moving around. So she's like, whoa, not her fault. She's a little girl on the shoulder. She didn't know that she's doing.
Oh my gosh.
He makes the catch anyway.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it was, it was right to his glove. So it was kind of hard not to, but he had lined it up before she covered his eyes. Now everybody's like, oh, what an epic dad moment. Wow, look at that. She's covering his eyes and he still caught the ball.
That could have
Am I
gone
the
horrible.
only one who sees about a million ways that kid could have been completely just maimed by a foul ball? He could have like jolted and dropped her. Now, for a toddler on the shoulders, that's a 6-foot drop, which is like a 15-foot drop for a full-size person.
Yeah,
And then her head would have hit a seat or something. It could have been, she could have got hit by the ball, dropped. Any number of things could have gone very wrong here. But they're like celebrating. It's a dad moment. That's an irresponsible piece of crap moment, is what that is. And the mom is right there. So hopefully maybe she would have caught the child. But what if that ball had come in a little harder and a little higher? And we were like, well, he could have moved out of the way. You don't get that reaction time every time. I don't think that dad could have made an adjustment with the kid on his shoulders to, you know, you got to protect your kids, not put them in that kind of danger. I mean, there's a lot of places I would carry my little girl on my shoulders. That is absolutely not one of them.
Really? Huh.
But after everything I just said, Harris, you're surprised by me saying I wouldn't do that?
I just feel like it's, you know, if I were there, I would probably be more relieved. I'd be clapping out of relief.
Well, I'm
for the
glad
fact
the
that
little
nothing
child
happened.
didn't take a baseball to the skull, but I'm saying is that's
And
irresponsible. He
It's an
should not have done
impressive
this.
feat, though. He caught it while having his eyes shut. It's like Michael Jordan making
Should
the
we
free throw blind.
celebrate him for being that irresponsible?
I
Just because this didn't end in tragedy. I mean, let's rewind back to last week when the dude fell over a railing and you know, is critical. By the way, he woke up.
Yeah.
And Randy, I swear to you, he said the same thing I did.
Mm.
Was I fair?
Yeah.
He did just that was the first thing he was hoping.
I reviewed the clip over the weekend, and he was in. My ruling is he was indeed fair.
He was in play.
He was in play. Yeah,
that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a father myself, I'm sorry. I just, you know, this could have gone viral for the wrong reasons. And I think people need to kind of, instead of like, you know, celebrating these guys who are holding the kid in a beer and catch a ball or stop it. I've always said if I had little kids that small at a game, I would make sure I was as far away from the action as possible. Because you're doing this and that, and you're trying to take care of the kid. Let's get something in the diaper bag. Here comes a foul ball, and a kid could be, you know, messed up for life from this.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Bad idea.
I mean, I feel like people are out there at the ballpark trying to have a good time, and they feel like maybe this is part of that, you know, trying to have a good time, and they don't take into consideration how fast that baseball gets on you. It does get on you fast, and if you're not ready for it, and you've got a toddler on your shoulders, I mean, it could be bad news. So I agree with what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying and why you're saying it.
You got to err on the side of caution when you're dealing with your kids. Quiet Cannon says if that goes viral, that little girl on her dad's shoulder will never get life insurance. I know. Base Slappa says Indiana was part of the American Bund in the 30s.
Bund.
I don't know,
Like
man.
a-
Your
as
spell check is like really betraying you right now.
As if a bund cake or bund.
Swazman says, which every Indiana is definitely part of the Midwest. Just watch the movie Hoosiers. Looks just like our state in Illinois next door.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
enough.
definitely Indiana's like the Midwest. Definition of Midwest. Culture wise.
Baker's Cocky Hens. That text is very funny and relevant, but I'm going to hold on to that till we talk NFL. Anyways, let's take a break. When we come back, I don't know what else we got going on. Something else. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to selectquote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-822-1598. 800-822-1598. 800-822-1598.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. And it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so the Kentucky Derby came and went. Mike Tirico almost died from a nut allergy. That's what that was. First off, I tuned into the Kentucky Derby for a minute on Saturday, right? And I turned it on, and I'm like, all right, there's gonna be some other races, and then all of a sudden, okay, we'll have our Kentucky Derby, right? So then I'm sitting there watching it, and like, this is taking a while. And then some lady goes, and we will have our 151st running in the Kentucky Derby in 3 hours. I'm like, what the hell?
Not no, but hell no.
I guess I tuned in too early. I don't know why that broadcast needs to be 5 hours long. Well, here we are, and that's what happened. So, but anyways, the Kentucky Derby happened, and I guess Sovereignty won the damn thing. That was none of our horse.
Okay.
None of our horse.
Dang.
So here we go. I have the highest placing horse with Journalism in second place. After that, Tiz-tastic, which was Phil's horse, that came in 10th. And then after that, Triple H had Publisher, who came in 14th place.
Dang it.
So for someone who likes participation trophies, he'd be like, I won. Randy White, Citizen Bull, came in 15th.
I think Citizen Balls is what you meant, right?
No, it's Bull, Citizen Bull.
Is it? I keep getting mixed up on that.
In 16th place, American Promise, my horse came in.
Okay.
That was my long shot, and I guess there was a good reason why.
Yeah.
Triple H's Rendered Judgment came in 17th, and then Flying Mohawk, which was Phil's, came in 18th. And Randy, your horse Rodriguez, scratched. Didn't even race. Didn't race.
Wasn't feeling it.
Well, but Baeza, the one who was the filler, got third place.
Wow.
In the race.
Dang.
So there you go. A lot of people wearing dumbass hats and drinking mint juleps and watching horse racing. That's what happens.
I saw this this story where every single horse that raced in the Kentucky Derby, every single one of them were descendants of Secretariat.
Yeah.
Which is like, what? Because
it's a lot like everyone in Kentucky. They're all descendants of like one couple. Bunch of inbred sons of bitches in Kentucky is what I'm getting at here.
I think that's more of an Alabama thing than a Kentucky thing.
Average Joe says,
But I
did
wouldn't
you
be surprised.
see that every horse that ran in the Derby was a descendant of Secretariat? Yes. Thank you, Average Joe.
Thank you for letting us know.
Wow.
Nice to let her know twice. So thanks, Average Joe.
Kiss the Cook agrees with me. He says, I'd protect my daughter at all costs. Wouldn't care less about a baseball. Now, if it was my son, he could catch a melon ball. Then I'd say, son, this is your first lesson. Dunk. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's true. That's true. But yeah, Mike Tirico, I guess he says, we sit there and you eat stuff when you're on a broadcast. And he's like, I didn't know there were nuts in something. And that's because when I first tuned in, I was like, that doesn't even sound like Mike Tirico. He was and he couldn't.
My gosh.
He sounded like a different guy. Now at least I know
kidding.
why.
Wow.
I couldn't watch the Kentucky Derby due to me being in the middle of a wedding.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna have to go back and see that.
Did you
Oh my
did you
goodness.
hear all the yelling and screaming?
From the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
No.
At the wedding?
No, I didn't hear it.
No?
What were people talking about at the wedding?
People were following. So I was in Jackson, Mississippi, and everyone was following the Ole Miss baseball game against Oklahoma. That's how into college baseball people in the South are.
Hmm.
Like, so
everybody was kind of salty they had to be at this dumb wedding because they wanted to watch the game.
not necessarily that. They were just, talking about the game and talking about the pitching and stuff. It's wild how popular college baseball is in the South compared to other places. It's
How are all of our friends down there in Jackson, Mississippi?
so the thing about Jackson that's
Wait,
wild
You
is
have
it's
friends
like,
in Jackson, Mississippi?
Oh, we all do. Yes.
I don't.
my mom was born there. in Jackson,
It's
Mississippi.
one of the
I don't know
friendliest cities in the entire 48, contiguous 48.
Well, Jackson, I'll say this. At one point it was like booming economically.
Uh-huh.
But then it's just like, oh my goodness, last 20 years, it's been in a horrible spot. And so
Wow.
it's a lot of abandoned buildings. Y'all ever heard of Gary, Indiana?
Oh yeah.
It's not to that extent, but it's like near there.
It was
So-
in that Broadway musical pool or whatever it was.
Jackson was?
No, Gary,
Indiana. Okay.
What was
okay.
it? What was that? I don't know what it was.
The Music Man.
It's okay.
I am not a thespian. I don't know that.
I was
Moist
in a
One
couple plays
says,
back in my heyday.
I'd rather be in Jackson Mahomes. Oh,
Excuse me?
888-368-1580. So
What
Randy
the-
and I, we had a double date on Saturday night. We went to a comedy show.
Yeah,
Awesome.
boy,
How was
boy,
that?
was it awkward with our wives.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, no, Randy, you and I
What?
weren't on a date.
What?
It's not how that works.
They were third
I was
wheeling
with my wife. You were
Uh-huh.
with your wife.
Like how I
Ah.
feel on a daily basis.
Okay,
So
all right.
we went out and we thought we'll get some Italian food and we'll go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
And the Italian place was not so Italian after all. Hadn't been there before, but it was right next to where the comedy place was, so we thought we'd try it.
Mhm.
Well, now we have, and that'll be the end of that. But so we went to JP's Comedy Club over in Gilbert, right?
Okay.
And the thing about that is they had a lot of great opening acts. The opening acts were pretty good. And the headliner, however, two things about that. Well, for one thing, the people that own the little comedy club don't know how to work their sound because they had the input of the mic up too high, and then the output was pretty good, but the input was too high. So when the headliner came up and he was very loud voiced,
oh no,
like that. Yes. See what happened to your ears? That's exactly what was happening
That
to everyone's ears in the
scared
place.
the daylights out of me.
So one of those things, that one part of that killed his act. So the headliner was like the worst part of the show. The other part was he did exactly what I told you not to do. Laugh at your own jokes. He would say, oh, I've got a striped shirt. And people are just like, yeah, it's less funny because he was laughing at his own. He would ruin his punchlines because he was laughing into them. You know?
Who would do that? Who
Well,
would
because
ever do
I guess
such
the
a thing?
Pacers beat the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers.
It was painful. So then I tried to tell the comedy club people, which, by the way, they were not very friendly. They're like, hey, you got your microphones kind of messed up. They're like, okay. And I was just like, okay. I just stick my fingers in my ears, I guess. And I tried to tell the owner after the show, and he just dismissed me. So I went and told the comic, I'm like, by the way, if you're wondering if things were going bad because your mic was jacked up, good luck with that. And that was it. We left.
Wow.
Oh, man.
We did leave. Yes.
It was a good time, though. It was fun.
You guys had fun, though.
Till the last act. Then it was just a lot of people looking at their watches.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're going to get. It was fun, though. This guy, Manny, he was funny. And then this other fellow with a muscular issue, he was funny. So it was a fun night.
There's nothing harder than being in a comedy when no one is laughing because it just gets awkward, you know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were drunk too, so that helped.
That's true.
All right. Hour 1 is done. 2 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Worried about your battery and the heat? We get it. You don't want to get stranded somewhere with a car that feels like an oven. We've got you covered at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Our free battery testing and charging service can help. And if you need a battery, we'll help you find a new one. No problem. Power through with free battery testing and charging at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Michael Eric Dyson for the Bail Project.
Our founders drafted the 8th Amendment to prohibit excessive cash bail. They never meant for it to hold people in jail. They knew excessive bail would create one system of justice for the rich and one for everyone else. But today, cash bail traps people in jail before they've even had their day in court. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender and good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Bruno Baller is like, yeah, I think Cinco de Mayo is Mexico's independence from France. It is not. It is a celebration of the Battle of Pueblo, as we told you about in the last hour. But Thanks for playing the home game. All right. So over the weekend, everything got sorted out for the NBA playoffs. Now we know where everything is. Now we know who's playing who, what's going. In fact, there's already been a game. The Cavaliers and Pacers, they played on Sunday. And so now Indiana is up 1-0 over the Cavaliers, who, Harris, I thought you kind of thought they were going to have an easy ride through the Pacers.
No, not necessarily. I mean, the Pacers have been playing super well, but I'm not going to go out here and say the Pacers are going to win this series. I don't think what they did is sustainable on a night-to-night basis. They, as a team, shot 53% from three. Cleveland was 9 of 38. So the fact that the Pacers needed to shoot 53% from three and needed the Cavs to miss 31 threes as a team only to win by 9, and it was a close game, might I tell you, is telling. I think Cleveland's got this series in the bag, honestly.
Even though they're down a game.
Yep. Even though they're down a game, Donovan Mitchell was uncharacteristically cold from three. He was 1 for 11. I'm not going to count on that to be a night-to-night thing. Ty Jerome was really good. Cleveland did get help from their bench. But with the amount of shots, open shots they get in that Kenny Atkinson system, I wouldn't expect them to miss that many threes again. And I wouldn't expect Indiana to make 53% of their threes again. They made more than they missed from there.
So are we expecting the Celtics to tear through the Knicks pretty easily? Or do you think the Knicks will put up a good fight?
I think the Knicks can put up an okay fight. I think they can win 1 to 2 games. Overall, the thing about it is Boston has the depth, right? And New York doesn't have what Boston has there. And Boston will probably just overwhelm them. If New York wins a game or two, it'll probably have to come early because the amount of, again, just guys that Boston has will probably overwhelm them.
Well, the overwhelming should start here in a few minutes, and we'll keep you up to date on what the score is on that. But I'll tell you right now, the spread is 8.5 in favor of the Celtics. So I wouldn't expect a whole lot there. Then later on this evening, the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder will take each other on at 6:30 p.m. By the way, all of this is on the TNT with Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and Ernie and all those guys.
Yep.
Denver and Oklahoma City, Thunder and Nuggets. I think this is going to be a great series. I mean, I know you think the Thunder are just going to probably do unto the Nuggets what you think the Celtics will do unto the Knicks. But I still feel like this could be a good contest.
I don't think that at all, actually.
I think said that last time.
I think Denver's really going to
We have it on tape.
That I think that the Thunder are going to
I've signed affidavits.
Yes.
Going to destroy the Nuggets. I didn't say that the Thunder were going to destroy.
No,
Randy remembers.
Pretty sure that you did.
Did I say that?
Because we have signed affidavits.
Oh,
and we have tape.
Oh, yeah. Tape.
Actual tape.
Well, okay. Let me get back to my point here. If I said that, I didn't. Okay. You know what? I may have said that at the beginning of the playoffs, but now since I've seen what the Nuggets supporting cast did, right? Aaron Gordon playing super well game 7. Jamal Murray has looked awesome.
I wish he had a liar.
He had that 40-point game, right? I mean, man, the thing about it is I didn't think Denver could be a legit threat because they haven't gotten much outside of Jokic. They've really struggled with him off the court. But with Murray dropping 40 plus in game 6 and Aaron Gordon having that good game 7, Denver has proven these last couple weeks that they have the guys that can help Jokic out. So with that being said, I think Denver, as long as they can get the best out of Porter, the best out of Murray, the best out of all those guys and squeeze that lemon as much as they possibly can.
Excuse me?
Well, Denver can be a huge threat to the NBA
ask permission
championship
before you
scale.
squeeze my lemon.
And
by the way, even though you're full of boo-boo, and did say the Thunder would tear through everybody, including the Nuggets.
I did not say that.
The Thunder, the betting folks agree with, you back when you were honest, and say that the OKC is favored by 10.5 points.
I don't think, where did I say that? Because I don't think I legitimately said that the Thunder were going to tear through. I've talked about the Warriors possibly winning the West. I've talked about the Clippers being a sleeper. I love OKC's talent. I just don't know if they have the amount of playoff experience to be able to make it all the way, despite what their record is. Playoff basketball is a different animal.
Firefighter wants to know, why is Harris such a filthy liar? First, he kept saying honestly all the time at the NFL draft as if he was lying. And well, now this, how do we trust him anymore? Who
I know.
can we trust anymore?
Oh, here we go. All right.
I remember it. Randy remembers it.
Oh, yeah.
When did I say that?
It was back then.
Are you guys gaslighting me?
What?
I feel like I'm getting gaslit.
Hey, Jeffrey, did Randy squeeze your lemon during date night? No. But I tell you what, I had to keep getting up and going to the bathroom because my prostate's the size of one. Swuzman says, West Side Story, Randy. Gary, Indiana is basically south side of Chicago.
Yep.
Okay. Baker Skokie Hens. Sorry about that. That was for football. Saving that. Moving on. Big George says, Jeffrey, this is what happens when you go through the Olive Garden. That's not real. No, it wasn't even the Olive Garden. No. The Olive Garden. We always would have had free bread. The garlic knots were good, though, that we had.
Yeah.
I've never actually been to Olive Garden.
Can I tell you why I can just say that the restaurant we were at on Saturday night was not really, really Italian?
Go ahead.
Because I had a chicken parmesan sandwich. And when I deconstructed it, it was just thinly little, breaded chicken, which probably came out of a box and went right into a microwave.
Right.
It was not like real, Italian cooking.
Sure.
So that's all right. It was more about just hanging out and having a good time and, company.
Yeah.
But we won't go back there again, will we, Randy?
No.
What did you guys have? What did you guys eat?
I forgot. That's how memorable it was.
When you guys were driving home, did your wife go, I'm going to murder everyone if they take me to an Italian place like that again?
No. Mm-mm.
I would figure that'd be like what she'd say.
No.
She's Italian.
She is Italian, and she had nothing but kind things to say.
About the Italian restaurant that was horrible?
No.
You could tell her it's okay. I have plenty of bad things to say. Like the guy having an existential crisis when I asked him, what kind of French fries come with this? Well, they're good. I promise they're good. I'm like, jeez. This man is very, very serious and sensitive about French fries.
Yes, he was.
I am too. I really like French fries.
Thanks, Harris. All right. So tomorrow it's the Pacers in Cleveland. And so we've talked about them already a little bit.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about the Minnesota Timberpups and the Golden State Warriors. So where are you at with that? Are you still thinking the Warriors are getting their way to the finals and they're going to beat these Timberwolves? Because that's what you said last time we talked.
Yeah, honestly, if Steph
Are you
Curry,
going to change that too?
If Steph Curry and Jimmy
He's changing
Butler,
it too, Randy. He's changing it too.
Yep.
As I was saying, if Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are fully healthy, I'm taking Golden State. If they're 50% or not fully healthy, I'm taking Minnesota.
Well, do you know what their current status is?
Current status? I mean, Steph looked on paper, he's been healthy fully, but he's been playing through something. So we can't quite know the status of reports. We can only see how he's played. And he looked pretty good in that game 7. I wouldn't say he looked like Steph Curry until the very end there, but he looked.
I just got this in, Harris.
Yes, Randy.
It looks like both those guys will be 68.237% healthy.
68.237% healthy. Okay.
What that looked like a to-go menu that you just held up. What? Or is it? That's a receipt from the to-go menu
From the Italian restaurant.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
I make my notes on here.
Oh, I see. Randy taking notes.
What'd you eat?
So studious.
Homemade sourdough bread.
Oh, damn it. That's
freshly made this afternoon.
That sounds good, man.
Can I tell you how different the food is at your house than it is in my house? I'm going to tell you with one sentence. Are you ready?
Okay, let's hear it.
My wife just got home and now she's working out.
Oh. Oh.
So right now the Celtics are 5 points to 4 over the Knicks.
That's funny, man. Shoot.
Anyway, Hefty Lefty says the numbers that matter for Wolves versus Warriors, the over/under 1.5 testicles kicked by Draymond Green during the series.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Gobert only has one since he's French, so you can actually reach that stat percentile.
Okay,
you're right. You're not wrong. You're right. I'm going to take the under. I think he's calmed down lately. Has there been any Draymond incidences lately? I don't feel like there has.
No, it hasn't really been a lot. I mean, he just got chippy with Dylan Brooks, but not anything crazy.
Who is he not chippy with? That's what I want to know.
Dylan Brooks deserves the chippy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dylan Brooks is chippy on his own.
Yeah,
I think Dylan Brooks gets up in the morning and is chippy with himself in the mirror.
Yeah, he probably is.
By the way, Chippy is the name of our elf on the shelf.
Chippy?
You still do that?
I don't know why I'm telling you that.
You still do the elf on the shelf?
See, now there's
Still
another
do? What's wrong with you, Harris?
another insight
There's nothing wrong
into
with that.
Jeffrey
I was just-
O'Brien's personal life.
Elf on the shelf.
Chippy.
I mean, the thing. Yeah.
Shut up, Terrace. Just shut up.
He's
Don't
always
even-
watching.
nope.
He's always watching.
Don't.
I'm not judging. I'm not going against it. When did you? So were you big into Santa Claus, Jeffrey? Did you tell? When did
Big
you tell your
George
kids Santa
says,
wasn't
Randy, I would love to try some of that homemade sourdough bread.
real? So curious now.
Well, we all would love to try some of that bread.
Uh-huh.
Harris, when you start asking me dumb questions, I'm just going to start doing something else.
I don't know how to help you guys out,
Jeffrey,
but
I just want to get to know you more. Is all.
yeah,
That's all.
let's just let it happen
I just want
naturally.
to get to know you more.
Stop asking me dumb questions.
I was curious. Some people are different about that. I didn't find out about
this
Santa
is not
Claus
the
when I was 12.
okay. We don't talk about. Listen, Santa Claus is a sacred subject. We don't talk about. You want to talk abortion? Let's go. You want to talk gun rights? Let's do it. We will not talk about Santa Claus on this show.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I didn't know Santa was that meaningful to you, but I respect
Yeah.
it. I mean,
You want to hear about an ethical issue for somebody in the South?
yes.
Free gun with every abortion.
wait, what? Hmm.
Did that get by you already?
No, it didn't get by me. I get it.
That's a good line. I just made it up right
I
now.
get it.
Yep. Right
I
now.
love it.
I know everybody's uncomfortable because I can just feel the collective anus tightening on everyone within the sound of my voice.
Yep.
It tightened.
We're not talking about Santa Claus, Harris. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
Noted.
Now or ever.
Totally noted.
Abe Froman says, "Damn it, Harris, my kids are listening to this show. Zip it." Oh, by the way, this is probably not a show children should listen to either. You know what I'm saying? In general,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's yeah.
people are like, "I listen to your show when I pick up the kids from school." I'm like, "You're a bad parent. You shouldn't do that." Or you're the cool parent. That's really up to you. Baker's Cocky Hen says the
You can be
blender has
both.
no problem making little kids scared, but we will not tolerate destroying false narratives for kids. You're damn right.
That's right.
If they could understand anything you were saying, it doesn't matter anymore. The Jet says this is a learning station. Today I learned two things from Jeffrey. One, his elf on the shelf is named Chippy. Two, his wife is currently making him a hot meal. Yes, she is actually. Now you mention it. You are absolutely right about that. Also, no idea what we'll have for dinner. Hefty Lefty says, elf on a shelf is cool, but I prefer DeVito on a Dorito. What's funny? My daughter loves DeVito on a Dorito. And I think for Christmas, I'm going to get her like they have, I don't know what it is with the Gen Z and younger, but they love Danny DeVito. And I found this it's like a big, it's a sticker, but not a sticker. Like you put it on a window and it peels off.
Yeah. Static cling sticker.
And then put it on the back. I got her a Jeep, so I'm going to put it on the back window of her Jeep, and it looks like Danny DeVito's riding around with her.
There you go.
Yeah,
Dude,
she's going to love this.
My friend, one of my roommates, has a poster of Danny DeVito. It's like a big fat head, like life size.
Nice.
Danny DeVito, but life size, it's still not that big.
Right. No. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But where do you get that? Can I get a link?
I'm gonna have to. I'll get him to send it, and I'll let y'all know because it's a pretty cool. It's a big cardboard cutout, and it just kind of goes in the office and stares at you with a happy Danny DeVito smile.
Jeffrey,
get her that.
Nothing better to brighten your day.
You said something about a sticker, and I want you to know we were traveling out to the to meet you and your lovely wife Saturday night, and I saw the greatest sticker I've ever seen, and I'm going to find
Let me
it.
guess. Nice people swallow.
No.
Oh, go ahead.
It has this TIE fighter and this
one of those big automated machines from Star Wars coming in, and it says, "The Empire doesn't care about your stick figure family." And it's got this thing and the TIE fighter coming in, blowing up stick figure people.
I've seen that one. I love that one.
The Empire doesn't care about your stick figure family.
That is a great one. That is a great sticker.
Greatest sticker ever. That I don't put stickers on my car, but
That's
I will
why
put that one.
if I were to get a Ram, the Ram trucks, they've got a version called the Rebel. And I was thinking about getting one of those a couple of years back, but then I thought, well, I don't want people to get the wrong idea when it says Rebel on the back of my truck. So I don't want people like honking their ding, 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 ding at me and stuff. And what I was going to do is get a Rebel logo from Star Wars and put it next to where it says Rebel, so they don't think I'm a racist scumbag. And so that's how I would handle that. So
speaking of Star Wars,
that sticker would be awesome
we just
for that.
Glossed through what was yesterday. Yesterday was May the 4th.
Yes.
Well, we've had sex, so
May the 4th be with you.
You can go ahead and celebrate all you want.
I'm going to start using the Force on you, Jeffrey.
Many
He's
have
going to come
tried,
in and
all
I'm just
have
gonna,
failed.
I'm just going to be, yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, my
Underestimate my
roommates in
power."
college were big into Scooby on a doobie. We all know what Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
Scooby snacks couldn't have tasted that good.
pretty
Triple
solid.
H says Slow Mozo stands for ho ho ho. He says, "Don't block me, please." Did he start following you on Twitter or something?
I don't know.
Firefarter says, "Did Harris do anything for May the 4th? Did you do any of that?"
He traveled.
I was
He's
at a
like,
wedding.
May the 4th be with you and also with you. We lift up our hearts. We lift them up to the Lord. It is right to give him thanks and praise.
I mean, amen.
Are we talking about?
But I was talking about
4th of July.
I was talking about Star Wars. May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Zay thinks you sound like
May the
Harris
force be
sounds
with
like
you.
a shrink who's trying to get me to open up about my feelings.
I feel like that's all a Gen Z, right?
I'll say it again. Many have tried, all have failed. Bruno Baller says Danny DeVito playing Louis on Taxi. That was a perfect part for him. Yeah, someday we can discuss the best parts that Danny DeVito has ever played. Is the Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Is it Louis from Taxi? Is it? That's pretty much all he's
the
done.
guy in the Jersey Mike's commercial.
Oh, well, that's just him, me and him. So I don't. What else has he been in? I mean, he played the Penguin in the Batman movie in the 80s or 90s or
I didn't
something.
even know that.
He was
Seems like a
twins with.
That was good.
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and him played twins.
Wasn't he? Didn't he
That's
do
hilarious.
Throw Mama from the Train? Wasn't he in that one?
Yes, with Billy Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for that movie that much. I didn't think that one was so good.
That'd be like if me and Randy were twins. Actually, no,
What?
me and Randy were the same height, right? The same height.
Harris,
Yeah, but
when
I
we're
make
talking
up
about
like
Danny DeVito. Don't make it about yourself. This is
I
about
make-
Danny DeVito right now.
I make up three
American
of you.
legend,
though.
Danny DeVito.
If I were to lay
Person-
on my back, I would be as tall as you as well.
Personality wise, I think he'd make up three of me.
Yeah, and that's just in his shorts. Swazman sent me a picture of a dog. Who's a puppy? That's a big puppy. He says, I work with Garth, the 160-pound, 5'6" Great Dane here in Tempe this weekend.
Oh, yeah, those are crazy.
Scooby-Doo is not a true version of a Great Dane. They're powerful and intimidating and super cool. Who said that Scooby was a Great Dane? I'm under the impression that Scooby-Doo was a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Look up that dog and tell me, because anytime somebody sees our dog is half Rhodesian, Bebo is. He's half Rhodesian Ridgeback, and people look at him and go, Scooby. So we gave him a green collar, just people would like that, I guess.
Speaking of tall dogs, have y'all seen Irish Wolfhounds before?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so tall.
We're
it's
grown ups.
insane.
We've seen pretty much
Yeah.
everything at this age. We've seen it all. We're not impressed.
At my farm in Arkansas, a distant family,
They're-
they had an Irish Wolfhound, and it was like, what? It was crazy.
Is it now? What do they look like clean? I've never seen a clean Irish.
She wasn't
Wolfhound.
ever clean because, like, you can't really let them inside. They're just too big.
Right, and
so
they're just obnoxious.
They're all
and-
dirty. Yeah. But they're like really harmless dogs, if for the most part. They're not like pit bulls. They're not super vicious or like Dobermans.
They just
super
filthy.
nice dogs.
You,
Yeah.
would- you'd be like, you have to have a proper Jeep with a plastic
Right.
seat to have that dog take a ride with you.
Its name was Jupiter.
Nice. That's a good name.
I know. Yeah.
Although call Jupiter out right now. Jupiter. That's weird. I always test out a dog name and how I will sound looking for them in the neighborhood.
You should try Maurice.
Nope. I can already tell you that one ain't working. I almost named one of my dogs A-hole. Can you imagine me running through the neighborhood yelling that out?
Where are you?
Every one of my neighbors would come out. What? It's like, no, I'm sorry, not you.
No, not you guys.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. I don't know, doing other stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-549-8866. That's 800-549-8866.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start May 14th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Worried about your battery and the heat? We get it. You don't want to get stranded somewhere with a car that feels like an oven. We've got you covered at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Our free battery testing and charging service can help. And if you need a battery, we'll help you find a new one. No problem. Power through with free battery testing and charging at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads. Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see, day or night. They move and stop quickly, too. So keep your distance whenever you see them and stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
2025 NASCAR Championship Weekend.
October 31st through November 2nd. Experience the thrill of NASCAR racing at Phoenix Raceway. October 31st, it's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. November 1st, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. And it all culminates with the NASCAR Cup Series Championship on Sunday, November 2nd. This event will sell out.
Go to PhoenixRaceway.com for more.
Don't miss the NASCAR Championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway.
Get your tickets now. We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I wanted to talk sports, but everybody wants to talk about Danny DeVito now.
Okay.
Yeah, 2049, a new texter from a couple of weeks ago says Danny DeVito is grandpa in Next Level Jumanji.
Oh.
You know, I saw that, and I don't remember it that well, but that was not a great movie.
Next Level Jumanji.
But you say he was good in that, huh?
The video game movie. Yeah.
You tell me he's good in it, or are you just shouting something out? Hefty Lefty says Phil the Satyr in Hercules. Barely remember that cartoon when I took my kid to see it. Beer Bob says, hey, watch out there, Triple H. Try using the force on Jeffrey. He's going to have Moist One come in and let him use his force on you, if you know what I mean.
Easy.
I do know what he means, but frankly,
he's not.
I am
wrong.
one with the force. Okay. and in my power. Don't
You're going to be one
underestimate
with
my
moist
power.
one's lips.
I wouldn't underestimate.
Easy.
Wouldn't-
Easy.
Bruno Baller says, yeah, Danny DeVito was in Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile with Michael Douglas. Yeah, those were blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Kind of comic relief in those. I guess that's him in everything, comic relief. It's not so bad being comic relief because everyone is always happy to see him.
Yep.
Says, good afternoon. Sorry for possibly being off topic. It's too late. But I wanted to tell you guys of an unusual occurrence last week. You guys were asking for names of older actresses that would be possible dates for Harris. I didn't hit the send button, but I did put in the words Ruth Buzzy. Imagine my horror the next day when I saw she died.
When I heard Ruth, but I didn't know what that was. gonna
Buzzy.
be. Buzzy. Okay.
Mhm.
I never heard of Ruth Buzzy.
She was on Sesame Street and I think Saturday Night Live or
Laughing.
Oh, Laughing. That's right. She went farther back. That's right.
I am taken, but I appreciate the help.
Another hot piece of ass gone too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dirty Bird said, "Ooh, what about Matilda?" Oh yeah, he was really good. Him and his wife Rhea Perlman played the evil parents in that. Yeah. T-Licious says, "So how fast is this going to go when I throw it at you, Harris?" What's this? A picture of some wild berry. It says, "Warning: this product contains nicotine," and it says Velo. I don't know what is that. Chew? It's called Velo.
If it's
and it
nicotine,
says,
it's probably some vapor jewel thing.
no, it's a round container. It looks like chew. There's a chew called Velo. Is that chew, T-Licious?
I never heard of it. Never heard of
Because
it.
the classiest people chew.
Vaping is the thing. My generation, people vape all the time.
By the way, that is a hugely bad idea. My son, who is a grown-up, like the grown-up, 30-year-old son.
Yeah.
When he was in the Marines protecting Obama, he actually was one of those guys. And he, a lot of boredom, started smoking cigarettes. Then he's like, oh, this ain't good. He says, well, okay, I'll change the vaping and try to peter off from that. And then never did, still does vape today.
Yeah.
But I worry about that. And I've told him about it. It's like, the popcorn lung is a real thing. If you ever you've seen a lung of a smoker.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty gross.
Yeah.
The lung of a vapor is terrifying. It's not, it doesn't go dark. It just popcorns. It becomes this weird, unusable thing inside your chest. The lungs, it's bad. And I just wish he would quit doing that. But so the vaping, worse than smoking now. Way worse. T-Licious says, my friends at work quit smoking, so he's got nicotine pouches. Is that what that is? What is it? So he puts that between his cheek and gum. Is that what that is? Velo?
Wonder why I said he was trying to throw it at me. I don't know what.
Because you always say velo when you talk about stats.
Velo instead of velocity. Okay, I see.
Slow Mozo says, I like Danny DeVito and Ruthless People, also in Rainmaker. Yeah, I guess he's, it's funny. I'm only thinking he's been in a couple of TV shows. Turns out he's got a huge, impressive body of work.
Yeah, he sure does.
He does.
You kind of forget after a while,
Yeah,
he's always good in everything.
He's kind of everywhere.
You're never sad to see him show up on a show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hefty Lefty says, Great Danes are only intimidating if you want them to move from a bed or a couch during their 7 naps a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He sends a picture of his. It doesn't look like a Great Dane. That's part lab, part Great Dane, Hefty. But that is a big dog. I'm not. You sure that's Great Dane? The Jet says a lot of people don't know this, but Danny DeVito's twin brother is Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, it's true. You can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hefty says, yeah, you're right. Lab Dane Pitbull mix.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see that now. I can see that. Chosen One says one of DeVito's best, Other People's Money. That's another good, solid movie right there. Can we talk about other things now? You guys can keep giving Danny DeVito all the love you want. I'm never going to stop Danny DeVito love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Except for it's the kind Moist One wants to try. I'm
right.
All but Dan. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just want to get some random stuff, and then I want to talk football. This is always the way the show starts. I have random stuff, and then I want to talk football.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't even get to football, and that hurts me inside.
We're so random through the whole show.
Yeah.
That we never make it to football.
Harris, if you wanted me to open up, this is me opening up. Sometimes it hurts me inside that we don't get to football.
Jeffrey, I like to hear that because I know a lot more of you by you saying that. Thank you.
You know, him thanking me makes me feel worse.
But yeah, I get that too because I'm a big football guy. I totally get that.
Zay says, "Ooh, are we sending in puppy pics? Anytime you guys want." Oh, look at that. That is interesting. Is that a dog bed that straps into your car and then you strap your dog to the dog bed? Or no.
In other words, a car seat?
No. It's a husky. No, it's just a husky with it's a husky with a harness on. And I misunderstood the picture because I saw a part of a car seat. He turned around and took a picture of his husky, but he does have the dog net thing, the little dog, little that they sit at. Yeah, that's funny. That's a beautiful husky there. Beautiful husky. It's got the huskies. A lot of times have the David Bowie eyeballs. One's a different color than the other.
Oh yes, yeah.
This one is light brown. The other one's blue. That's a different kind of look there. King Kenton says Dan DeVito, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now I want one of them sub sandwiches. That's not what we're doing, King Kenton. You don't get a free sub sandwich for just mentioning something that Danny DeVito was in.
No.
The Jet says, Randy, give Jeffrey a doll and have him point where it hurts.
Excuse me?
When we don't talk about football.
Why?
I don't think I need a doll.
Yeah, I don't like dolls, man. Dolls are creepy.
Why have I been tasked to hand out the dolls? I just want to know.
Randy, you don't strike me as a doll guy.
I am not a doll guy.
No.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, with all this May the 4th talk, I got to know, Triple H, is he the first employee you guys have hired that has a curfew? No. He's barely older than a Squid. What was Squid?
Yeah.
We called him new Squid on the block. It was we called him Squid.
Yeah.
Was Squid like a temporary or was he a full
he was an EVIT guy and he was getting ready to go to ASU to be in broadcasting. He spent a few months working for us and says, the hell with this, I'm going into finance. And I'm not even kidding. And
that's a true story right there.
And so I was like, all right, well, that's a shame. And so he was all set to go to, his parents, I think, talked him out of radio. I think that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
After they heard him on this show.
Yeah, he was good. He was pretty good.
They must have been like, wow, these guys, Jeffrey and Randy, are so good. I don't know if Squid can ever amount to that. So we may have to talk to him to finance,
He only knew about soccer and
yeah.
What? And you guys don't.
Cricket.
You guys can't stand soccer. And cricket, was he from
here?
here?
He was from here. Yeah.
And he loves soccer and cricket.
Yeah, cricket, soccer.
We liked him.
Yeah.
Oh. He was a good guy, but just,
Yeah.
Life goes on. Slow Mo Zo says, here's Milo. He's a schnoodle. Oh, a good boy. Oh, that is an awesome dog right there. That's a dog. That's a good job. Hurry Harry says, rescued these guys off the streets down in the hood at 6 months old. No, this girl is one. Oh, I thought that was two dogs. One dog named Ruby.
Ruby's a good dog name.
She has that sort of like that little furrowed brow, that concerned, like that concerned look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dog.
Untrusting look. Yeah.
Hamilton Porter. That's a trick question. He says, better little person actor, Danny DeVito or Peter Dinklage? Okay. Trick question. Only Peter Dinklage is actually a little person.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito is just a really short guy.
Yep.
Big George says, Max Scherzer is a husky. Scherzer his left eye is brown and his right eye is blue.
Yep.
That is wild.
Swave Dave says, Squid probably figured out chicks dig money more than funny. It's not that ain't true.
I don't think it's it depends. The wrong type of person,
both.
The wrong type of they like both. I think the wrong type of person will be like all money driven. There's got to be a balance. You get the wrong type of girl and she's all money driven, she's just a gold digger, well, avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everyone's thinking about your girlfriend right now.
Well, I mean, no, she's not one of those. She's not one of those people.
Gold digger, eh?
No, she's not.
When my wife and I walk into a place, and Randy, Randy's been witness to this. She's so hot, everybody looks at me like That dude must be rich. I always look like a millionaire. Hamilton Porter says, here's my dog is Bo, is a Jack Russell Basset Hound mix. Oh my God, that's an interesting. Is that the angle, or is that is an interesting dog right there? It's a good looking dog with very soulful eyes and a very intelligent face. But in this picture, I just want you to know, it looks like a penguin. Your dog looks kind of like a penguin because the angle, like all it has is 2 feet, and it's like a little bird, like a penguin dog.
A penguin?
Yeah.
Penguin dog.
I can't see the back tail or the back leg, so it just looks exactly like a penguin with dog ears.
All right.
That's fun.
That's pretty funny.
24D9 says, been trying to think of a name. We got to help this person come up with a texture nickname, Randy.
Okay.
Says, been a Rams fan since I was 10 years old.
Back
in 1979. So I hate the Cowboys, 49ers.
Yeah.
I hate Pittsburgh. We know more about what you hate than what you like. But you were born in 1979 when you became a Rams fan, or is that when you were born? We need a little more information, I think.
Yeah, a little more.
Do you have any Rams connected texture nickname possibilities?
No, I don't have any Rams connected stuff.
We call him Ramrod.
Ooh, good one, Jeffco. Right off the top. Wow.
You want to be Ramrod?
Ramrod.
That's a good texture nickname. We give him
I
that.
like
He
that.
better text in often enough to justify it.
He
What
better
about
bring the thunder with that.
What about Ram 1500?
But Ramrod's way better than that.
Ram 2500? After the truck? I mean, I think that could be cool.
Why not 3500?
Is there a 3500 truck?
Yes.
Are you a child?
Could
Of
be
course
that.
there is. I wouldn't say it if there wasn't one.
I didn't know.
You know,
Could be
it's
that.
just 2,000 more than the 1,500.
Forgive me for trying to be creative.
Can I
man.
tell
just
you?
thought
the
it was
Ram-
cool.
The Ram 2500 and the Ram 3500. If you look up their window stickers, there's no gas mileage on it because they're just listed as heavy duty trucks. And they're like, don't bother with the gas mileage. They have an exemption for that.
Yeah.
Ramrod it is. Our new texter's nickname is
Ramrod.
Ramrod.
All right, there it is.
Ramrod.
Good job.
I didn't mean
Ramrod.
to step on your toes there, Randy. Usually you come up with the texter nicknames. and
No,
stuff.
you brought the thunder on that one, Jeffco.
It was a moment of inspiration. So
Yeah,
Hurry
man.
Harry says Ramrod or Ram Lover or Ramrod Lover. No, I think
Yeah.
we're good with Ramrod. Ramrod's
like it.
pretty quick and concise. I dig it.
I'm sorry he likes the Rams, being in my division in the football division, and I will have to call him names like Lamb Lover and that sort of thing. So,
Chosen One says today is our good boy Max's birthday. He turned 6 today. He's a pit hua. Are you kidding me? He's half pit bull, half chihuahua.
Wow.
Wow.
He says his mom was the chihuahua. Well, we knew that. Physically, there's no way for that to be the other way around.
That would be wild.
Retained a lot of the father dog's genetics because this is not it's not a teeny little thing. That's actually a mid-size pit bull right there. Says, yeah, it was probably a rough day for his mom. You think? There was 2 rough days from this. That I'm not going into it. Slow Mo Zoe says Ramrod from Super Trooper. Great movie. Wait, there was a character named Ram. I'll be honest with you. I've never watched all of Super Trooper. Never watched it.
Yeah.
Average Joe sends me a picture of his dog. It looks like a golden lab with scrubs on and a stethoscope. And it says, my dog is a dog tour.
Wow.
No whistle. No whistle. No whistle.
Wow.
No. If you see the picture, you'd be like,
Okay. All
trust me. No, that was fine.
All right.
We're gonna let the puns
Let that
slide.
one. Okay.
T-Licious says, yeah, well, the feeling is mutual, Ramrod. Go Niners. Lamb chops. You can suck it.
Wow.
That didn't take long at all. That did
Welcome
not
to-
take long at all.
Welcome to the text line, Ramrod.
So Ramrod wants to know if we think the Rams did enough in the offseason. Tell you what, we're going to talk football here very soon. I'm going to put a pin in yours, and we will re-ask that question when we get back and start talking the football. We're close. We're very close. Oh, you know what? So I don't care about divisions and conferences. I also I've got opinions about vehicles, but not so much that I'm going to get into like road rage incidences or fights with people over it. But Abe Froman says real men drive Ford F-350s, Harris. I think a real man just drives whatever truck they want to drive.
Yeah.
And I think you drive a Ford if you like plastic and stuff that breaks a lot. If you want comfort, luxury, and toughness, you go with a Ram. I don't know what you're doing with a Ford.
Ramrod.
What do you drive on the farm there, Harris?
We have this like 1969 Chevy red truck. We call it Chuck.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like
that's the farm truck.
Heck yeah. It's
That's
like
the only
truck
you guys have?
We have well, my dad had a Ram for
There
a
you go.
while, but
Good man.
recently, it was an old one. It was an older one. We had it for
Because
a
they can
while.
get
Kind
old,
of
unlike
exhausted it.
Fords.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, I
Probably
wonder if
don't
he
see a
gets
lot
a
of
new truck.
Fords out on farms, huh? Because
Well, I'll
farmers
tell ya.
need stuff that lasts and actually can do things.
I'll tell you, Jeffrey, my dad right now is like a kid in a candy store because he just got a new Kubota tractor and he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
obsessed. Like he has been, every time I've talked to him, it's been about that tractor. He's been on that tractor. He's been mowing the grass, even though the grass is like as mowed as you could possibly
You're going to
get.
come home and he's going to have planted crops.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
not say a word to me. He's just going to be on that tractor.
He's
Where,
gonna
Dad? Oh,
take a look.
there he is, back there.
Don't break my tractor, Harris.
Yeah.
All right. We got to take a break. When we come back, let's see. A couple more random things and we can talk some football. Let's hurry up and do it. It's the Daily
All
Blender
right.
here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/news. That's ethos.com/news.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Time for a new copier? Here's a better plan. Affordable Used Copiers has reliable late model copiers that won't break your budget. We're talking color and black and white copiers that copy, print, scan, fax, and staple. We sell, rent, and lease late model, top of the line Konica Minolta BizHub copiers that can be delivered the next day. And don't worry, enjoy expert support and reliable service from professionals you can trust. Affordable Used Copiers, where you can get a reliable copier without the hassle of endless research. Save over 50% on pre-owned late model copiers. Search AffordableUsedCopiers.com. A+ rated with outstanding Google reviews. AffordableUsedCopiers.com. Serving Valley businesses for over 14 years. AffordableUsedCopiers.com. Don't get stuck with an outdated copier. Go to AffordableUsedCopiers.com today. Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Abe Probin's like, hey, why so much hate for Fords? At least Ford is still an American company. Dodge is owned by the Dutch and French. Nothing patriotic about that. Yes, but the vehicle's made in America and Mexico and Canada. It's a North American truck. And again, I don't care that much. I don't like Fords. I just don't. I mean, I don't like Ford trucks. I do kind of like them Ford Explorers. They look kind of cool. The cops use those. I think those are pretty good. So I could probably find a vehicle in every brand that I'd be like, yeah, that one's all right. Even Kia. Kia, that Stinger is not a bad looking little car, and it's got a V6 in it, and it seems to be pretty sporty. And then
Kia Stinger, okay.
Yeah, Chevy's got the Tahoe, or if you want to, you can call it the GMC Yukon, or if you want, you can call it the Cadillac Escalade. Those are pretty good. I like those. You know, V8s are going to be the thing that's really going to connect most of these things. You know, so yeah, every brand has probably a vehicle. Toyota and that new Land Cruiser, that's pretty nice. Honda has that Passport, which is a pretty cool little SUV. That's pretty good. Like I said, any vehicle, almost any vehicle. I don't think Hyundai has anything I care about. Yeah, I don't think I like anything Hyundai.
You don't like those Santa Fe?
I thought for a moment I might, and then I started seeing them driving around, and I'm like, no. I used to have the Santa Fe as a child carrier, and ended up calling it the Satan Fe because the thing is just what a piece of garbage that was.
Yeah,
I think they are probably in better vehicles now than they used to be.
Yeah,
but I don't really care for the Hyundais. But I guess if I was going to get a Hyundai, it'd be whatever their version of the Honda Accord is, you know. But Abe Froman says, fair enough, Jeffco. Dodges are North American made. So are Ford, so are Toyotas, Tundras. All great trucks. Anything besides that ugly ass Cybertruck. Yeah, if I don't think I'd want a Cybertruck, but an actual Tesla, my wife has sort of dabbled with the idea here and there of having a. But the Cybertruck, every time I see it, I just think, I don't know. I've never. It's not even. Don't think it's a political thing. It's not. I just have never liked the Cybertruck.
Reminds me of the one we saw Saturday night, Jeffco, the Cybertruck. That somebody who owned that had put 454 SS stickers on it, and we looked at each other and said, "I don't think that has a 454 in it."
Shouldn't be putting stickers on that unless I actually hear the engine. There's some Bubbas have grabbed those things and actually tried to put engines in it, or try to put the chassis over another vehicle chassis just so they can have a gas-powered Cybertruck. Swazman says, Jeffrey, are you back in talking about getting another chick SUV RAV4? Jeffrey, go with quality. Lexus, Toyota, Acura, Honda. I don't know what you're talking about. Chick SUV. The RAV4. I've seen some meaty ones, but I'm not thinking about getting one. I'm not thinking about getting anything like that. No. But Toyota, the Land Cruiser, is what I said was pretty good. Hefty Lefty says, putting SS on something related to Elon Musk, probably a choice.
Maybe.
By the way, I get aggravated of like, Elon Musk is a genius. Again, this is not political. My whole thing has always been, no, he owns companies filled with geniuses and says, hey, let's make a thing. It's not like he does any of the genius part. Swave Dave says, did you ever take a look at the Rivian trucks, Jeffrey? I did. And I saw the price tag and I looked away. Those are cool. No, they're cool looking though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how they do, but I've never had an electric car, so I can't say. How about a Porsche Macan? My wife has one and loves it. Well, that's who should have it. The 4-door Porsche is for people who don't really understand what a Porsche was supposed to be about. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Whether you're a man or a woman, that's a sex car. That is a sexy car. The Porsche is supposed to be the sexy car. You put 4 doors on it, you've completely given up the idea of what the Porsche was supposed to be.
Make it into an SUV type car. That's not what it was meant to be.
She loves it. She's happy with it. You're happy. That's all that matters.
Meant to be you and her in the car, not meant to be anyone else.
Right?
No
Isn't that-
kids, especially.
What are those third and fourth door for? Makes no sense.
My dad got a Porsche when we were like 9 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he put me and my brother in the back seat of the Porsche. And the first thing that we did is he got us this milkshake, which is
That's on
probably his
him.
own mistake. And I spilt it all in the back seat, like within minutes.
So that Porsche
was-
smelled like baby fart
was really
forever.
he was furious. I could just.
That's on him though.
I know.
He
I could
knows it,
see like
too.
the quiver in his mouth. You know, sometimes when dads get that, you know, kind of the neck down, the shoulders up, and then he just gets all, you know, just starts gritting his teeth like this.
What did you get punished?
Oh, I got yelled at for sure. He was
shouldn't
not
have
happy.
even done that. You
He's
hand the
not
kid
happy.
listen. I'm a strict dad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If you hand the kid the shake, whatever happens
You
next is
aren't
on you.
Playing with
How
fire.
old were you?
I was 9.
Yeah, that's
Not-
no.
9, I'm pretty sure. 9, 8, 10, around there. But yeah. Oh yeah. Spelt it everywhere.
Chosen one says, I got the fun car. He says, he's got an AMG, an SL55. That's nice. That is a nice piece of Nazi engineering right there, Chosen one. Every time I see a Mercedes, that's all I can think.
Mm-hmm.
Hefty Lefty says, the only weird thing about a Rivian is their headlights look like Dyson fans.
It's
God
true.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Now I'll never unsee
Yeah,
that,
it's-
Hefty
no,
Lefty.
that-
You've
that-
ruined it for me. Now,
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Dyson fans.
I
That's
don't know
exactly
that would
right.
stop me from driving it if I could afford it. It's like 100,000 car. I don't know. Can't remember how much it is. Slow Mo Zo says, is that why your dad missed the wedding? He's out there playing with the Kabuta?
No, he had
that a euphemism,
Actually, well, he had a work thing, but that might be the reason.
He didn't want to go because he wanted to play with his tractor.
He wanted to be on the tractor.
Man
Which,
card
can you blame him?
accreditation points right there.
Yep.
Last Optimist says, I got a Ford F53 because none of the other truck manufacturers make one that hefty. What's a Ford F53? There's no 53. What are you talking about?
Wow.
Well, there is an F53. Hold on here. Let's see.
I've never heard
Ford
of it, so I'd be
F53,
surprised.
never.
It's just a chassis. Oh, it's an RV chassis. It's an RV. Okay. Ramrod says, now, do you think they did? Oh, I'm sorry. That was not about cars. Sorry. I'm having a hard time keeping everything separated. Beer Bob says, hey, be careful. Just like Kanye said, she ain't a gold digger, but you don't see her messing with, no, we're not. Beer Bob, stop right there.
No.
Stop right there.
No.
Hamilton Porter sent me another picture of his half Jack Russell Basset Hound and says, oh, okay, yeah, that's an interesting looking dog. He says, yeah, it's a goofy ass mix. Not gonna lie, but yeah, it's a good dog. Firefighter says, hey, wait a second. Did Harris earlier call women gold diggers? My significant other does not like that terminology or that racist song by Kanye West.
I was saying that women that are in it for the money. Yes. I wasn't calling all women gold diggers. Absolutely not. But there are some out there. Yes, this is true.
I mean, how else do you get the gold if you don't dig?
Yep.
Right?
Right.
I guess you could pan for it.
Yeah.
You call a woman a gold. See,
I
if
guess
she's with
we're
us,
all-
here, that's the difference. If they're with us, they're gold panners. They're hoping something's going to come. Nope.
No.
Nope. Maybe something's going to come of being with us.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're all gold diggers in a way.
No, Harris, don't get philosophical. There's no
Oh,
philosophy
did I just
there.
get philosophical? Oh,
Maybe
sorry,
we're
something
all. No, we're
inquisitive
not
and smart.
all.
Oh, just a thinking point.
Abe Froman says, I think the father of Harris didn't show up to the wedding because he was hanging out with. Okay, no, he was not hanging out with the bikini gal from the picture from the 90s.
I knew that was no, not that I know of.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, sounds like the weekend's starting early, even though it's Monday. He's like, although we are in a full moon cycle. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. No, the show does what the show wants. I'm not going to tell you nothing.
The show is a living, breathing organism.
It should probably be put to sleep, but whatever. Katie Ledecky breaking the 800-meter freestyle world record that she set 9 years ago. She did that.
Really? Just recently?
Yeah, like Saturday.
What? Wow, the fact that she's still going at
9
that
years
level
later,
is
that
insane.
this is how high a level she continues to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is 8:04 and 12, 0.67 seconds ahead of her previous time.
'Cause the
that she set at
swimmers-
the 2016 Rio Olympics.
Wow, freaking near 10
She now
years ago.
holds the top 10 performances of all time in that event. All 10.
Wow.
She's the best women's swimmer.
She
ever.
has all the high scores on the video game.
Yeah.
Like if you go in there and put a quarter in, all you see is her name.
You could argue her as
Yeah.
the best women athlete ever. You really could.
Man.
Well,
you could make that argument.
Yeah, yes and no. I don't like to do an absolute on that. She is absolutely the best swimmer ever, but I'm sure Diana Taurasi
Women's
has a few
swimmer
things
ever.
to say about basketball.
What about
Not swimmer.
Serena Williams?
Serena has something to say about tennis. So that's a
Yeah.
tough one though to say. And how do you even quantify that? Let's
Yeah.
just be happy calling her the best swimming gal ever.
Yes, that's
That-
totally fair.
I tried to say it right, but I think I made it sound worse.
Because you can't say best swimmer. 'cause
The
Michael
best
Phelps.
female swimmer ever. How's that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Sure.
Swave Day says we're all hoping for some gold in our lives.
Hello.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to goodrx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker. And first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster? I think so. Is my homework right? I think so. Is this milk still good? I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No, by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
hour. Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Guy Harris hits in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, I got just a couple more things to talk about before we get to the football. So no wild tangents, no crazy left turns. Let's just stay focused and let's get there. Okay.
Yep.
Can we agree to that?
Agree.
I'm with you, Jeff. Go.
Yep.
All right, real quick. The Celtics are up 46-38 over the Knicks. The Knicks had been keeping it close, but it looks like the Celtics are starting to find their groove right now. By the way, speaking of the basketball, the NBA, as you know, the NBC is about to get them, some basketball. They just got back their portion of the NBA's media rights package last July, or they'll actually they'll get it this July. I can't remember when this thing goes through, but here's the thing: they have decided, it is official, they will use Round Ball Rock, John Tesh's Round Ball Rock.
Oh, no kidding!
We should probably, if we were in the same room, that might work. But can you find that music and just play that? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. And what always makes me giggle is Saturday Night Live a few years ago. They did like this thing back in the 90s where they're like, how that song came to be, where John Tesh comes in with his brother Mike, and there's a sung version of that.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Now we got to go help people customize.
Wow. Sorry about that.
Yeah, they show up and they both are wearing the John Tesh vest and all that stuff. And it just cracks me up because the one guy is just sort of like he starts the music hits, and then the brother goes basketball. It's just like, you and I were doing it. And I've got that video up on my Twitter if you want to take a look. It is really fun.
I'm intrigued by how they deal with this because Fox also bought the song for College Hoops. So Fox College Hoops uses that song as well. So are they still going to have the rights to that?
Yeah,
Fox
they've always had the rights for it.
Fox College Hoops, because it was an NBC thing, and then they bought it. Now NBC's doing it again.
Round Ball Rock belongs to NBC. So whatever they did with Fox, they probably allowed them to use that unless, or there was probably conditions on it that if the NBA came back to NBC,
they would have it.
Relay. Whoop, we'll take that.
Yep.
You would think John Tesh would have a lot to say about it, but I think he sold his rights to basketball. I'm gonna dunk it. Oh my God, that's a fun. You got to go watch. Yeah, like I said, the Jeffrey O'Brien. Go check that out. Scroll down; it's right there. Very fun. Hefty Lefty says Round Ball Rock. Jordan hitting a jumper. Marv Albert saying yes. 90s basketball core memories right there.
No kidding.
Nothing like 90s basketball, man.
That was such a fun time until it wasn't, huh, Randy?
Yeah, it was.
It was a fun time until it wasn't.
Yep.
What do you mean till it wasn't?
Don't make me go there.
No.
Don't make me go back to Game 6.
Very
Bulls versus the Suns.
Very dark indeed.
When Danny Ainge didn't even try to put the defense up as a three, got drained over the top of him to give the Bulls the finals victory. Don't take me back there. I went into a very dark place.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
As a Suns fan.
Phoenix has just been
as a human being
close. Like in the 70s and the 90s and the 2020s, man. It's just been so darn close.
Well, in the 90s, the commissioner and the San Antonio Spurs had something going because the Suns clearly were mistreated.
Oh, you mean 2000s with Nash? The Robert Horry thing?
Yeah.
When he
Oh,
shoved him?
yeah, don't say that name ever again, ever.
No, dirty, stinking Horry.
Okay. And Amari getting suspended for getting off the bench is stupid.
Well, it wasn't just Amari. It was two guys.
Yeah.
I think it was It was Amari and somebody else. I can't remember right now.
Didn't I
And
ask
then,
not to be taken back there? I've been taken back there now. Why are you taking me
Driving
back there?
Steve Nash's face into the scorer's table.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to
I've seen
do that.
clip. Yep. Oh, that was an accident. Yeah, I know what clip you're talking about.
Mhm.
Oh, Suns fans. The Suns have one of the best NBA fan bases, by the way.
Mm.
They do. It's like they deserve it, man.
A lot of people don't believe that about us.
No,
Oh, I think the Suns have one of the best fan bases in the sport.
I think you're right.
They've stuck
Triple
with
H.
it. They've stuck
I
with
think
it.
you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, they had Steve Nash looking like Fabio in a roller coaster ride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
This
was
is
his
a-
MVP year too.
That is something you don't understand, your Harris. You don't know about Fabio and the roller coaster ride.
Mhm.
I don't, but I roller
Do you know
coaster
who
ride.
Fabio is?
No, but I heard roller coaster ride, and I was
You
like,
don't know
yeah,
what
it
you're.
fits.
No, listen. Let me explain to you. It'll take a second. Fabio is his long hair, foreign sounding German guy or whatever, and he
Yeah.
was the model for all those trashy novels. And then he'd be holding a woman, his chest is open in the shirt, and he's like, on all those romantic novels your mom read,
Okay.
and my mom read. All of our moms read them. It's not a dig. It's not a yo mom thing. I swear. They all
Lost
read
my
these Harlequin novels, right? And Fabio was the man on the cover of all of them, and he was kind of famous back in the 90s and 2000s.
Uh-huh.
So then they're like, oh, you know what we need to do? We're opening up this new roller coaster. Let's get Fabio out here. So they get Fabio on there with a couple of girls, right? And he's riding the roller coaster, and they're videotaping the whole thing. And they're like, oh, it's our new roller coasters. Yay. And they're going over the right. And as they come up over the highest peak of it, getting ready to go screaming down, and they start to pick up speed, that is when a seagull flies by and he hits it with his face. And his face and nose is ripped open and he's bleeding, all that. So they're videoing like, here comes Fabio. Fabio comes rolling in and he's just covered in blood. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
That's what they did to Steve Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
They
saw that clip
Fabioed
of
him into the scorer's table.
Looks like Tyler Hansbrough. You know that picture when he was just like covered in blood in that
Yep.
UNC Duke game? Yeah, like that.
So anyway, I didn't want to go back there.
Yeah.
Why do you want to take me back there?
But we went there for just a bit, Jeffco. And
I'd like to get away from there now.
all right, we're going away now. We're now moving.
Says
away. Yeah.
a friend of mine was actually one of the girls on the ride with Fabio. No kidding.
Wow.
No kidding. See, I wasn't making that up.
Hmm.
Swazman says, Randy, the Suns and the Diamondbacks have stamped their ticket to permanent franchise here in the Valley,
Oh,
unlike
yeah.
the hockey team. And I feel like the Cardinals will stay.
Yes. The hockey team. I will say this: the NHL will be back in the great state of Arizona. It will be back
I think so too.
in
hope
the
so.
great metropolis of the Phoenix and Tri-City area.
Wake me when that happens.
It's going to happen.
Swave Dave says, what do you think about the new Diamondback colors, the purple and teal? Yeah, I saw those new City Connect ones. I'm not a fan of the purple and teal.
I like
Purple. See, everybody is like the new Diamondback covers of purple
Right,
and
it's
teal.
the old colors.
That's the original color.
I like the
palette.
old ones, man. I think they're awesome.
It was purple and teal
They're so cool.
and
love
white.
I
That
think
was the
that-
color
I think
palette.
the Diamondbacks colors now, like what they used in the early 2010s, late 2000s, I think those are too bland.
You mean the purple and or
the red?
Yeah, I mean
or
just like the
or
dark
red
red
and
and
black.
kind of goldish black.
The
like,
Sedona
I
red.
think it's a little too bland.
Mm,
Love
Yeah,
the
well-
old man. It's awesome.
yeah,
You enjoy that. I'll just rock the red and black. Although I do have a classic Diamondback shirt that I
Sedona red.
picked
By
up
the
to
way.
go to the game.
Yeah.
Sir Drives a Lot says, just tuned in and we're talking about Paxton. Oh, God, I'm out.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to say his name, Sir Drives a Lot.
Yep, that's true. Whenever Bill Paxton is on the TV calling a game, I shut it off.
It's not even, I can't even really be mad. I'm mad at Danny Ainge for not defending better. Danny
I'm
Ainge
mad at-
didn't make the effort. You're a 3-point shooter.
I
He's a
understand.
3-point shooter. I feel like you should have guarded him differently.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
I don't want to get into this. So let's talk about something important.
All right, something new and exciting.
Remember we were talking about, could 100 men beat a gorilla?
Mm,
That's the
yes.
thing everybody's talking about. Can 100
Yes.
men beat a
Yes.
gorilla? And we're like, no, 100 men could not beat a gorilla. Mike Tyson says 100 men could beat a gorilla if they were all me. I think he's right.
Okay.
Like prime Mike Tyson, not
Now.
ass out walking away from the interviewer Tyson.
Yeah.
I think current Mike Tyson, no. Prime Mike Tyson, 100 prime Mike Tysons would have been eventually. I think the gorilla would take out more than 60% of those Mike Tysons.
You think so?
But eventually, yes, Mike Tyson's would win.
I
think
don't know.
it's funny though.
I don't
feel like-
know.
I think Mike Tyson.
60%.
Yeah.
Tyson doesn't understand. It would come from pure punching. And as the gorilla was killing Mike Tyson after Mike Tyson, some of these punches would land. Some of the punches would come from behind.
How would he get up there though? To punch him right in
Eventually,
the face.
it's not King Kong. It's the gorilla is not that much bigger. I mean, if you jump up there, it's doable.
If it's on all fours, then for sure I would take the Mike Tysons. But if it's like
Mike
standing
Tyson
on
would
two,
just
that would be
imagine like George Foreman's face, or who? Not George Foreman. Who do you think his most famous fight was?
Who, Mike Tyson's?
Yeah, I mean he just tore through everyone, so I don't think there's anybody.
Floyd Mayweather.
He never fought Floyd Mayweather.
All right,
He
then,
would never catch him.
Sonny Liston.
Okay, forget it. Forget
okay.
I said anything. But here's what Mike Tyson says. He says, if it was all Mike Tyson's, he says, that gorilla is going to be in a lot of trouble. And then this is the part I liked. He says he actually tried to fight a gorilla once back years ago in the 80s, late 80s.
Not surprised.
He offered a zookeeper $10,000 to fight one. He was on a private zoo tour, but they, for some reason, said no.
For some reason.
He's like, yeah, we got to the gorilla cage, and he says, and there was a silverback that was bullying the other ones. And he's like, he offered the attendant $10,000 to open the cage. And he says, I want to get in there and I want to smash that silverback snot box. He wanted to smash the monkey's snot box. But no, they wouldn't let him do it. So we'll never know. But no, prime Mike Tyson, 100 of them. Yes. I really believe
100
you've done
Mike Tysons. Yeah. I would agree.
It's just, I don't know if there is a way to simulate this like we would Madden. I don't want to get a monkey hurt and I don't want to get people hurt. So there should be some way of simulating this.
Maybe.
I don't know how. but
AI,
somebody
perhaps.
needs to.
I mean, with the way AI is these days, if you ask ChatGPT or something,
I don't
make
want to
me-
leave this to AI. This
well,
is
then
too
I don't know
important.
if you have any other options.
I want to leave this to like you take the UFC computer game, right?
Okay.
And you say, okay, here, take all the attributes that you know of a silverback gorilla and put them in and create your. I mean, it has to be done by developers. You can't do it in the game, but use that technology and let's see what comes of it. That's what I want.
Isn't that technically AI though?
No, that's human beings who are programming the game to do what they want it to do. Not saying, hey, computer, program yourself to do a thing that we want it to do, because that it's not sophisticated enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? You end up with the monkey coffin pizzas at everybody. You know,
Oh.
it doesn't. There's never any sense to
We
those
wouldn't
things.
want that.
Chosen One says they simulated one Chuck Norris versus 100 gorillas. Chuck won without breaking a sweat.
Oh, I bet.
Don't even have to simulate that. You know that's going to be that way.
Yeah.
Number one Rattler fan says, what do you guys would think would win a one-on-one bare knuckle fight between Batman and James Bond? They're both are in shorts, no accessories. So who would win bare knuckle fight, just two guys, man to man?
Well, now
James Bond.
James Bond would win, right?
Yeah, because
I mean,
he's way better trained to. He's a license to kill.
yeah.
So yeah, I think
And-
James Bond. Any
And
James Bond versus any Batman would win.
Batman relies on his equipment.
Yeah, I was
mean-
gonna say if you taking Batman's accessories out of it is a huge part. Huge.
Now, the
factor.
Christian Bale Batman, he did learn he did learn the kung fu karate stuff
Yeah.
in Tibet. So he'd give a good fight, but James Bond is super spy, trained in all the different ways to kill you,
Highly
and then
trained,
some.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Batman with his equipment on now, I would take Batman, but without his equipment, I would easily take James Bond.
Swave Dave says the gorilla can use claws, but Tyson will never get within earshot. That was a nice spin.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was
Hefty
good.
says if you could pick the 100 men and they had an hour to strategize, I'm talking the humans. I'm taking the humans. Imagine 10 elite strongmen like Hafthor and Brian Shaw, who are over 400 pounds, 6'8", throw in physical freaks like Giannis and the sheer numbers. That would just eventually overwhelm that gorilla.
Honestly,
yeah, but a lot of people would die first. And then when somebody dies in front of you, you're less motivated to get in there. You know what I mean?
Also, if you have like the original question was 100 people, just your average Joe, random.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way they would win. 100 Mike Tysons, that's different. So we
Yeah.
got to understand.
Prime Mike Tyson.
Prime Mike, not like you said, Mike Tyson now, but
Right.
Mike Tyson,
Forget that.
prime Mike Tyson, I think he would win. Yeah.
Number one
Not
Rattlers
100.
fan says, I guess it would determine which Bond and which Batman, because Michael Keaton was pretty weak Batman and Roger Moore was a pretty weak James Bond. Well, I mean, then, yeah, you'd have to go
I'd still
best Batman versus best James Bond, most physically capable of either side. I don't think Clooney is going to do much. Val Kilmer was just a pretty boy. So I think Christian Bale, he was just an actor. I don't know. That's a tough one. You're right. That is a tough one. It makes it even more likely James Bond will win.
So would you take worst James Bond over best Batman?
No.
Really?
No, Roger Moore was like 98 years old.
Oh yeah. I still think with
That's a calibrated 98,
That
by
is
the way.
Right. Now he had a lot.
Right.
He drank a lot.
At the same time, a lot of experience though. A lot of experience.
Silly Wabbit says, how about one Adam West Batman versus 100 Harrises?
Oh boy.
I'll take Batman. Take Batman.
Went Batman.
I'm
Adam West
scrappy.
Batman.
Don't underestimate me again. Fourth dimension. I'm scrappy. Just saying.
No, it's 100. I'm not underestimating anything.
100 me's?
Yeah. Swazman says Mike Tyson was one of the meanest dudes on the planet, and Evander Holyfield was a badass. Man, I wouldn't mess with either one of them. Silver Pop says, can 100 gorillas take down one Chuck Norris? No. We just had somebody say they did a simulation, and the answer was no.
Which
The answer is
means
no
we
on that.
found our official answer. It's a no. And there's no changing it.
Nurse Scratchit says, I think it would be funny to have Tyson's voice as Siri or Alexa. That would be amazing.
would
You're
be
not
fun.
wrong. You should ask AI to do that.
Yeah.
So there's a use for AI, Harris.
Yeah.
I got two things left to talk about, but I'm going to save them for tomorrow because I want to talk football. Damn it. I'm tired of not getting to talk football. And I want to know who I get to blame for this.
Harris.
Okay. Harris, you're to blame for this.
That's not very nice, Randy. Such a tattletale.
You're the new guy.
You're the
While
you're
you're
being a
under the
tattletale.
bus, while you're under the bus, can you
Throw me under
can
the
you check
bus.
the drive shaft? It's making a noise.
Can you change the oil and check the
maybe-
drive shaft?
Take a look at that muffler while you're under there.
Such a tattletale, Randy.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-660-1771. That's 800-660-1771. 800-660-1771.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Every day, Dave spends $5 on,
One ultra latte with a caramel drizzle.
but for less than $1 a day, he could protect his family with a $500,000 life insurance policy from SelectQuote. And for about the same $15 a month he spends on,
Honey, what's our password to Streamflix?
he could have a life policy from SelectQuote. But when his wife asked him,
Honey, have you looked into life insurance yet?
Dave said,
Whoa, how are we going to afford life insurance?
if only Dave knew that SelectQuote could find him a policy for up to 50% less than he's found online. That's about the same amount as one of his streaming subscriptions. SelectQuote is a broker. They know which carrier has the right policy for Dave's situation. So he'll have money left over for
Karaoke machine with auto tune.
I'm canceling your credit card.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get your free quote now at selectquote.com. or call 800-341-6060. That's 800-341-6060. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. Your lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh. Did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Rich Eisen Show.
At the end of the day, the Luka for Anthony Davis trade winds up with a grand total of one combined NBA playoff win for the two teams involved in the season in which the trade was made. And the amount of time we spent here and other shows spent here and the amount of print, the amount of digital stories, all of it that we've spent about it. Grand total, one playoff win in the year in which it happened.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. The Celtics pulling away from the Knicks at the half, 61-45. Okay, that could be a very quick series. By the way,
Yeah.
Harris, doesn't it really play to the Celtics' hands that they are able to sweep these guys and get some rest?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, more rest is important for sure.
Or is
It's always
rust a
nice to
bad
have.
idea?
I wouldn't say rust is particularly a bad idea. When you get time to strategize over a team and watch their tendencies, more time to watch film, I would say, then that can play into your favor for sure.
Well, that's what's happening right now at the half, 61-45
Yep.
Celtics. All right, so let's talk the football. Who did I put off earlier? Oh, Ramrod.
Yep.
Ramrod wants to know if the Rams did enough in the offseason.
If the Rams did enough in the offseason, I was so
No.
puzzled at the idea of them letting go of Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's so reliable.
And they're keeping Matt Stafford at his old age. In fact, they just redid his contract.
I think that's fair to keep Stafford around. I think that's fair.
37 years old.
He is, but he still has. Look, that team is still very
Are
competitive.
they
with him.
thanking him for the past? Or are they hoping he'll actually do something in the future? Because I don't see him. He's a good quarterback, but I don't see him getting better.
Yeah, honestly, looking at the Rams' offensive line, I think there's more they could have done there. That is a big one. And in the draft, they went after. They didn't have a first rounder, so they went after a lot on defense, which is all right. I would say the Rams, they're not going to be a team that's going to win a Super Bowl. They're not going to be a team that's going to be terrible. Heck, I still think they can make the playoffs. And if you're a Rams fan, you've got to be thankful because at least you got your Super Bowl. If you didn't get your Super Bowl and you're out here trying to do this and finagle all this and fix all these moves, well, then you're kind of in panic mode. But I think Rams fans can still sit and relax a little bit with this going on.
I think the Cooper Kupp thing is interesting to me because
Does make sense.
when they won the Super Bowl, remember the whole mantra was F those picks, or and he was wearing T-shirts, and now the GM's kind of going backwards from that, isn't he? I mean, he's kind of stuck now. I think the Rams knew they were going to have to pay an extensive salary to Cooper Kupp to keep him on the payroll, and they just weren't willing to do that. They Puka Nakua's out there. They've got some young talent out there, and I think it's going to be a matter of building their defense. I don't think their defense has been the same as it did in that Super Bowl year.
No,
I mean,
it hasn't
that
quite.
Super Bowl year, their defense was badass.
It was really good. I mean, when you lose Aaron Donald to retirement, that plays a huge factor. And Von Miller as well. Their corners have gotten older, like Williams has gotten older. I thought they were going to address more of that, in the NFL draft. So yeah, their defense last year was a major step back from what it was. So that was probably their biggest issue, but they didn't necessarily have the resources to address that in the NFL draft. Maybe they're letting go of Cooper Kupp so they can free up some more cap to make some trades to get some defensive guys in there, because having Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell is pretty solid as well.
Right.
They have, and Devontae Adams, I forgot about that. That's huge for them, massive for them. So they have a lot of very good receivers. Maybe that's why they decided to let go of Cooper Kupp.
So I feel like this is the point where Ramrod is sorry he asked.
Yeah, it's not that the Rams are in bad shape. It's just not that they're in like Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Rams shouldn't be Super Bowl or bust right now, but they'll be competitive.
Photo negative of Deshaun Watson. Justin Tucker just got fired.
Wow.
The Ravens have released Justin Tucker for all the allegations. Now they're going to say it was a football decision. Okay. But it probably more that there were 16 people coming after Justin Tucker from massage parlors saying that he did the full Deshaun Watson. And so now he's got to fight that. Well, the Ravens, we all noticed how they drafted a kicker. They were intending on cutting him loose the entire time, but doing it, making it look like it was a football decision, kind of probably frees them up from any kind of weird liability from agents and lawyers and whatever.
Yeah.
So there you go. Bye-bye, Justin Tucker. And when the list reaches 16, it's kind of hard just to say, oh, they're lying. They're all lying. He's denied all allegations, but there is a certain point where I remember Bill Cosby, you're like, oh, that lady's just probably out to get him. Bill Cosby's the nation's dad, wearing the sweaters and drinking the Coke and having the pudding pops. And then there was another one and then another one. Then you got up to 24 and you're like, maybe there's something to this. And so, that's where we're at with Justin Tucker. So if he did those things, may he rot in hell. If he didn't, oof. Well, I hope he figures it out. 888-368-1580. The Browns, by the way. So he'll probably end up playing for the Browns. Wow. But that actually makes sense. If they took Deshaun Watson, they should take Justin Tucker. That seems fair.
Baltimore calling this a football decision is a little bit hard to believe. Obviously.
Nobody believes.
Yeah. And then I do want to say this. Justin Tucker last year only made 73% of his field goals. That was like bottom 3 of kickers in the whole NFL.
Wasn't he injured?
Yeah, he was for a little bit, but he played all 17 games. Like, he just had a rough year.
Well, I wonder how much of this stuff was dragging on him as well.
He missed like 5% of his extra points, 4% of his extra points too. And so that's really low for a kicker as well. So having like one of the lowest field goal percentages in the NFL, he was probably on the brink. And then this happened, and they're like, well, it's not even worth it.
I really hope, I hope he's not innocent because this is going to be horrible if he didn't do these things. If he didn't do these things and he loses his job and all hope for his future, and it turns out this was a conspiracy, how horrible would that be? It's doubtful. So, I hope he rots in hell. But that is always that thing, man. You got it, because listen, I've known people who've been falsely accused as much as we've seen people who've been rightfully accused.
I've known people too that have been. Yep.
And there's that moment where you're like, what a scumbag. And you're like, well, what if they're innocent? There's been a couple of NFL players who recently, and I can't remember their names, but were accused. And we're like, well, that's the end of that guy. And then the next thing you know, they're exonerated. And this is the problem. When you're accused, it's on page 1. When you're cleared, it's on page 73.
Yep.
Matt
a small paragraph.
The punter from San Diego State.
Right.
He was accused, got released, and then it ended up coming out he didn't do it. You saw, I don't know if you guys have followed the whole Trevor Bauer stuff too.
He's just not welcome back in baseball more, I think, because of his criticisms of Manfred back before he was in trouble,
right?
Because outside of that, there's no reason to let him back with open arms.
Yep. And it turned out he didn't do any of it, and they found text messages trying to set him up and all that, and it's like, oh, so he got released? Because this is why with all these things, I try to stay very cautious of drawing a conclusion before everything comes out. Very slow to draw conclusions here, but it's unfortunate situation.
Sir Drives a Lot says Browns to sign Justin Tucker, 2 years, $60 million, fully guaranteed. That would be their MO on how they deal with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Average Joe says, I am sure the truth behind the Justin Tucker release will be massaged out. Boo.
Wow.
So I stopped them from blowing the whistle on you with the dog because you provided a nice photograph to go with the pun. But on that one, I think that deserves a 2-minute penalty.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 2 minutes.
That went right through my ear hole. Dr. Roadmap
The
says,
one you can hear or the one you can't?
massage parlors get busted all the time for providing illegal services. There's two sides to the Justine Tucker story. Yeah, here's the thing. Some massage parlors, not all. And the gals who do the upper level stuff, like with the athletes and stuff like that, the people who are at spas or whatever, not the shady looking massage parlors and strip malls. We're talking about that. That's not what these are. These gals are from places that are reputable, and these are girls who have diplomas and a high level of training to be able to do this for an NFL player. They're not your normal, backdoor masseuse. This is like, quality massaging
For
going
injury
on here.
stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Massage parlors can be shady places, but that's not the places these gals are from. Just the Tip says, when I was married, I was accused of closing the throne lid 3 times. All it took to get me guilty. 16? Yeah, I wouldn't go to court with those numbers. Sorry, what does that mean? Closing the throne lid?
I had no idea.
Do you mean not closing the toilet? I don't even understand that reference.
Kind of fell apart there, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of did. It didn't make sense.
Usually, Just the Tip texted in earlier, so he must have been passed out drunk. So now he's
been doing this a lot lately.
Don't judge him. He's retired.
I'm not judging him. I'm just saying I just noticed a theme here.
When I'm retired, I'll never not be drunk.
Text gibberish.
Big George says, rotten hell, Justin Tucker, if you're guilty. If you're not, I'm sorry. Anyway, hey, speaking of the Browns doing Browns things, they're gathering information about Devin Bush's arrest. They say we're looking into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Devin Bush got arrested. They're saying for simple assault. I don't have any more details than that. Has there been any more information on what was going on with Devin Bush?
Honestly, not much. Looking into it here. No, it's just the report that he was arrested 12 hours ago. He denies all of it. Yeah. Simple assault and harassment is the charge.
Is the charge, but okay, who did he assault?
He reportedly assaulted, let's see, after he was detained, his alleged girlfriend.
Okay, so that's
police.
bad. Yeah. Well, now you gotta just see what happens with the rest of the investigation. I was hoping it was another dude, because as long as it's not a woman or a child, that's fine. Yeah, got in a fist fight, no big deal. It's the other stuff that, Oh, Steve Smith Sr. He got sued for something you don't see very often. Where was this? North Carolina. North Carolina still has some older laws on the books. And I always found this one to be an interesting one. He just got sued for $100,000 at least by a guy named Antonio Martinez. And he's like, it's the home wrecker law. I guess Steve Smith Sr. was sleeping with his wife. And so now he's suing him for cash.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is an actual law.
Yeah, in the lawsuit, Martinez says he called Smith to confront him. It's like, hey, you've been bleeping my wife, bro. And Steve Smith Sr. goes, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I remember that video.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
So, so it's alienation of affection, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and the complaint seeks compensatory damages, punitive damages, attorney fees, and a draft pick to be named later.
So you can do that. You can do that in the state of North Carolina. Sue someone $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody,
Is that
if your
the only
wife
state?
cheats
Are
on
there
you,
other states?
I feel like the person you should be able to sue is the one who cheated on you.
Exactly. Thank you.
I feel like that's the one who's really the bad guy in your story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very, very old kind of thing in there.
Man, wow.
Tiger Paws says, "Thank you, Jeffrey." You're welcome. I don't know, whatever it is. Great to hear
Okay.
from you, by the way, Tiger
Yeah.
Paws.
Yeah.
But why?
Mm.
You're welcome. Just the tip clarifies. He says, wife always wanted, as I think most women want the lid open for some
Yes.
reason if they need quick access. So what?
My wife would
Stuck
not
with the
want the
toys.
lid open.
Yeah,
She would
all
want the
the way
lid
down.
They
closed.
always want it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
learned-
different kind of woman there.
I never
Yeah.
grew up. I never grew up with a sister, and so I went to I learned that in I think college is when like someone yelled at me for leaving the toilet seat up, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then they were like, "No, you've never done that," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing."
Yeah, both of them down. Not the whole thing closed up and done. Just
Right.
Yeah.
close it all the way. Then whoever's next gets to put it the way they like it. And then when they're done, they close her up. That's what my wife's always done. You know,
Yep.
if I ever forget, and it's like once a year, I'll forget. The scream I hear from across the house.
Well, that's generally when they go to sit down there and they go a little too far.
Yeah, yeah, little cold, little cold Heine baptism right there.
Yep.
Moist One says Steve Smith got busy with a tuba player.
Don't get it.
I'm not sure the joke is there. Firefighter says, "Is it true Phil leaves the seat up when he eats on the toilet bowl?" Probably.
How was it? How was it with Phil on Friday?
It was great.
It's great.
I
Nice.
like having Phil. I
You
like
guys
when Phil
all
comes by.
all filled up. Filled up by Phil.
2-minute penalty for
Yeah, there
for
it is.
Harris.
It's 2 minutes on Harris.
We didn't have to blow the whistle on him. If that
Mm.
tells you anything.
Just saying.
Just a tip says, "I've been living with some weird women. I like it locked up tight." Yeah, I mean, okay. We have to take a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Every day, Dave spends $5 on,
One ultra latte with a caramel drizzle.
but for less than $1 a day, he could protect his family with a $500,000 life insurance policy from SelectQuote. And for about the same $15 a month he spends on,
Honey, what's our password to Streamflix?
he could have a life policy from SelectQuote. But when his wife asked him,
Honey, have you looked into life insurance yet?
Dave said,
Whoa, how are we going to afford life insurance?
if only Dave knew that SelectQuote could find him a policy for up to 50% less than he's found online. That's about the same amount as one of his streaming subscriptions. SelectQuote is a broker. They know which carrier has the right policy for Dave's situation. So he'll have money left over for
A karaoke machine with auto tune.
I'm canceling your credit card.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get your free quote now at selectquote.com or call 800-341-6060. That's 800-341-6060.
Details and example rate at selectquote.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/news. That's ethos.com/news.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it. They've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
It's a luxury car. Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We're not going to say what kind of car it is.
No.
Doesn't strike me. Harris, you're a farm boy driving a luxury vehicle.
I know.
Did you inherit that from a parent or something?
To be honest, yes, I did.
Wow. Okay, now it makes sense.
I did inherit it from a parent. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm very, very blessed and fortunate there. Because if it were,
that makes sense. Because hey, listen, your first car should be whatever you can get your hands on.
Yeah. If I were, if that were me buying it, it would be, my dream car has always been, that car in Dumb and Dumber with the dog, the van with the dog.
The
You guys know what I'm
van
talking
with the
about?
dog?
Like the dog. Like,
Yeah.
You want a van?
Like that. That's my dream car.
What is that vehicle underneath all that?
I'm looking at, I don't even know, probably a Honda Odyssey.
Well, I guess it's not. No, they didn't have those then.
Oh, did they not?
Oh,
it's 2001. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you here. I gotta.
Well, no, we've seen the movie. I just.
Oh yeah, the Mutt Cuts car. Oh, this. Yes, I would love to drive that car.
Yeah.
Talk about a
that,
statement.
what is that built on? Did you if you Googled it, click on the thing and see what it was built on? If I'm going to go with a Jim Carrey car, I would grab the car he had in Ace Ventura. That was it was a beat up car, but that thing could be fixed up nicely.
That one's a good one. Oh, it was that like what's it called? That big white van. I'm trying to find the name of it.
The Econoline?
Oh, the 1984 Ford Econoline. Yeah, good call, Jeffrey. Good
Listen,
call.
don't even try me. I know my
your
cars.
stuff with cars, man. I respect it. That's impressive.
The Ace Ventura car, I did have to look this up, is a 72 Monte Carlo.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'd rather have that Mutt Cuts car. That's my dream car. No question about it.
But other than that, what would you want to drive?
Anything. I don't really have. I'm not picky with cars at all, man. Like whatever gets me from point A to point B, the cheapest option. Like I'll drive an old truck. Fine. I would love that actually. So probably that.
I think I want to retire in a small town.
Really?
So I don't have to worry about gas mileage. And I
Yeah.
can really soup something up.
100%. Yeah.
I want them to hear me on the other side of town when I start it in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, Dr.
Yep.
Roadmap. He says you left out John Wick out of the 100 versus equation.
Oh.
Is it 100 John Wicks versus the gorilla, or is it 100 people versus John Wick? John Wick's got a gun. It's like if he has 100 bullets,
if he has a gun, he's winning.
even if he has like 50 bullets, because he likes to shoot through several people at a time sometimes.
Right. See, here's the thing. If the 100 people charged at John Wick with a gun, well, then they would probably find a way to get the gun and win because that's so many people. But since he has the gun, who actually has the balls to charge at and get that gun? You'd get shot. One or two people are getting shot.
I'd run
So
at
people
him
would be
as long
afraid.
as it wasn't on the
They'd just
set
shoot
of
him.
Rust.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time it's just a movie. Harris drives a Bugatti. No, he doesn't drive a Bugatti.
I do not.
No.
Not now, at least.
Last Optimist says Triple H wants a shaggin' wagon. All right.
Heck, yeah. Give me that shaggin' wagon all day.
King of Kittens says, I drove a 1985 Chevy Astro van for work. I've driven an Astro van once to help a friend get it from one place to the other. Scared to death I wouldn't get there alive. And this was in the 80s when they were new. Moist One says, all right, John Cougar Mellencamp.
No idea.
I think it's about the small town.
Yeah, small town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that checks out.
Just the Tip says, Randy, I'm retired, but girlfriend said I got to do something.
Yes.
Every weekend day, Mike smokes tons of food. Never heard of this, but he smoked potato chips. Ever heard of this? They were stunning. I work part-time at the Home Depot. And then he sends me a picture of a lot of French fries.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
a lot
mean,
of potato chips. I mean,
you can smoke potato. You can smoke basically anything. You just
can
got to
smoke this.
You can get it on the smoke
you want
it.
to smoke something? It's just no big deal.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
I was talking to Randy. Was that off air or on air? I was thinking about getting because my wife says, "Hey, honey, I need you to grill this real quick. I don't have time to smoke it. I gotta, grill it up real quick."
Yeah.
And rather than having two units out there, although I do have a nice new grill, but I saw when we were at the Lowe's, I saw a Pit Boss. It was one side had a smoker, the other side it was like a small propane grill.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to get that. It's like $500.
You should do it.
How big is the cooking area on both sides?
2/3 the size of a regular grill.
Okay,
that's both of them. Then again, though, I got this new grill down there. I kind of like.
You have a new grill already.
Might as well just get a straight up smoker, huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, why wouldn't you just get a smoker?
Well, look at me trying to buy a hybrid. What's wrong with me? It's
Yeah.
not American.
Yeah,
It's not American in any way.
And now listen, I like my Pit Boss, but I mean there are several different. You got to go with what you feel
I'm
best.
going with what you do because you're going to teach me.
Well, I can teach you on anything.
I want you to be able to tell me blindfolded what I need to do.
I'd love for Randy to teach me.
I don't want
about
to be
anything,
blindfolded.
honestly.
I want you to be blindfolded, Randy. I want you to be blindfolded. It's very important to me that you be blindfolded.
Didn't work out the last time, and I'm sure it's not going to work out this time.
One of these days, I'll get my way. I wanted to talk some more football, but I just realized show's almost over.
It is. It is almost over.
We're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow. How's that?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're ready.
No, Moist One, don't turn it into that. He says, I'd pay to watch Randy smoke your meat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn to smoke my own meat. Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
It's like yoga. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a clever one.
Like yoga.
It's the only reason a man learns that. You know what I'm saying? It's the only reason a man learns yoga. Can we move on?
Yeah. Very true.
So President Trump came out and to the microphone. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. He came out there and said,
funny.
"Hey, everybody, guess what? The 2027 NFL draft will be held at the National Mall." And they're like, "Yay!" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's a big deal. It is a big deal, but I don't think they should have the draft there
At the mall?
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Why?
Like the one in Minnesota?
I'm already
at the National Mall in Washington D.C. Man,
Harris.
I thought there was the ball. I thought it was in
oh
Minnesota.
Harris.
When you first left your family farm for the first time, did you go anywhere other than here?
I thought like there was like the biggest mall ever.
No,
known
that's
as the
not
National Mall
of
was in
America.
Minnesota.
It's
I'm getting it confused.
the
with
term
Mall of America.
mall. Look it up on your phone while I talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it.
Anyway, so I worry about security because, we've gotten lucky that a lot of these things, and we've had some shootings at the Kansas City Chiefs parade, and there's been issues
Now
at
I'm seeing it.
different places.
Yeah.
So I worry when it's in the nation's capital, that just smells like a
teen spirit.
Like you're chumming the water for a terrorist attack. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried that somebody could turn this into something.
Don't you think it could happen anywhere, though?
Yes, and I'm surprised sometimes when it doesn't, and I'm unhappily not surprised. Like when that shooting happened during the Chiefs' victory, celebration, not surprised. And then also surprised it hasn't happened more often. It's always a dumb reason or it's a coordinated attack. And if you wanted to make a point, making a point in St. Louis or making a point in Philadelphia is not even as great as making a point in the nation's capital. And if you know you've got a ginormous crowd of people there, I don't know. This is not a coronation. I'm not coronation. This is not like sitting there, swearing in the president. This is probably about 500,000 people crammed into a very small area.
Yeah,
and you're not securing that the same way you do the president. So that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I get that. I hear you.
So here I am saying this on May 5th, 2025. And I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that they go out there and, they secure everything. And it's a great time. And it's a proud time for our nation to enjoy the football and all the history that Washington, D.C. and this great country has to offer. But I'm a little nervous about this one. This one makes me nervous.
I'm not nervous about this one at all. It doesn't change from
Randy's never nervous.
One place to another. I feel like
Lady Gaga did a concert on the beach for 2 million people, and they luckily were able to sniff out and get rid of a terrorist attack there in Brazil.
That's Brazil. That's not the greatest country in the entire world.
I don't know if you know, but the greatest country in the entire world has been hit before.
Yeah, we have been hit before.
And I think it's proper and it's prudent to have concern about this, Randy.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to move it inside somewhere?
No,
you're going to move it
500,000 people.
Is there a safer place to have it?
I just don't know that this is probably a great idea. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
maybe this was not the place for this.
I don't know. They had it in Green Bay. It's going to
nobody cares about Green Bay.
It's going to
Harris
Pittsburgh.
wouldn't even get out of bed for Green Bay.
It's going to Pittsburgh next. And then they're talking about Washington. I think it's great for the country. I think it's fantastic for football and the Washington Commando fans. Are you kidding me? I think this is great.
It is great, but I have concerns. That's all I'm going to say.
Shows how intertwined like NFL culture is with America. It's crazy, like how popular that sport has gotten compared to every other sport.
That's true, but
there's no way any other sport would have a draft. At
well,
the
they
nation's
better
capital.
militarize the perimeter on this. To stop
I'm sure they're going to be
high chance they will.
Well guarded.
But I hear you, Jeffrey. It makes sense.
Well secured.
What doesn't make sense is the president is like, "Hey, everybody, we're doing the draft in 2027. By the way, I'm cutting all funding for brain injury research." Wait, what? Why? Why are you doing this? They're like, yeah, we're cutting that funding for traumatic brain injury research and education. So now we won't have the money to work with the high school kids and coaches and educate people on how to all the different things. We're gone. So be careful out there. See you at the draft.
See you at the draft.
Yeah, the people at the CDC are like, yeah, the budget cuts are going to roll back decades of progress that they've seen in brain injury and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know how you roll back progress. I mean, whatever we've learned to do and applied to the helmets, it's not like they're going to say, you take that helmet off. It's not how that works, but whatever else they were working on, yeah, that's hosed. Big George says, did Harris learn anything at ASU? I mean, do they not teach you anything anymore? Listen, George, let's be honest. He went to broadcasting school. Okay.
Yeah,
he went to ASU.
True. Yeah.
He got a proper college degree, but his focus was broadcasting. As you know, especially in journalism, you're not required to know anything.
Right.
You'll be told what to say by the network.
The Cronkite professors would hate to hear that. But I hear what
if he worked for Fox, he'd be told one thing. If he worked for CNN, he'd be told another thing. And if he's on this show, we're not telling him
Jeffrey,
anything.
I'd love to see just what happens if a professor brought you in as a guest speaker to Cronkite to see how that class would go. I would love it. Personally, I would be like, yes, this is the best. But I'd be so curious. what that would
I
go
mean,
like.
how long it'd be before it's sir, sir.
There's the door.
ushered out.
Sir, you can't talk about that. No, we don't go here. It's a trigger warning.
Hey,
There's the door.
they can always slip in my DMs. I'll come talk. I don't care.
Slip into my DMs.
Yeah. I used to be connected with them. We kept trying to get interns, and then we realized anytime we got an intern from the Cronkite School is they have not been taught anything, and we are now going to have to teach them.
Really?
Yeah, we just
that's crazy.
Just not a lot of stuff getting taught.
I'm not surprised. I'm like really not that surprised. But
I'm sorry to tell you and your parents this, but your education. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Quickly. Back to the year 1913, American League president Van Johnson suspended St. Louis Browns manager George Stovall for indefinitely after Stovall spit tobacco juice in umpire Charlie Ferguson's face after being ejected 2 days prior. And he got suspended 17 days.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason they ended this thing is he's had to write a letter. Dear umpire, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I spit in your face because you're a stupid effing moron.
Yeah, I don't think
I still can't get over. I mean, I know we moved on from it. I still can't get over that.
Stop ejecting me all the time. Maybe then I won't spit the tobacco juice in your face. You ever think of that?
There's a reason why you got ejected.
Charlie? Did you ever think of that? Love, George.
I still can't get over that you guys, no one in Cronkite was taught anything. Y'all
So, I mean, they might have been taught about journalism, but not how to work equipment. That's for sure.
2, 1.
All right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways